Awesome stuff. And welcome to the first game in the set between Hera and Vinchester. The final, well, not for us, of course, but technically the final decider match of the day. Which of course means that whichever player wins this game will go on to the next round. And I just wanted to pay attention to this cool wood line in the middle of the map. This is an actual wood line. How often does that happen? That's a weird ass wood line right there. Anyways. In the purple, we have Vinchester, and I think we're just going to keep him that way, blue, purple. I mean, again, if anyone has problem with color blindness or anything like that, please do let me know, because I don't have any issues with colors whatsoever, so I wouldn't know in time. And I do want to accommodate all the viewers. We can just go for red and blue if that is better. Any case, we'll just keep it purple and blue for now. Anyway, I was saying that Vinchester has picked Berbers. Interesting, starting off with a strong pick like Berbers. And Hera has indeed gone for a less meta Civ. Incas, a more trolly YOLO Civ, but definitely not a Civ you can underestimate. Again, you cannot underestimate it. Like, even when MBL in the last set was so far behind with Incas, he managed to get back with Incas, like against Malians too. So that's, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's always possibilities here. Now, Hera is not really the kind of person that usually goes ahead and lames. Like, Hera isn't. He doesn't do that quite often. He will lame if you lame him. Like, I mean, it's not like Hera is too nice to turn on the laming and turn on the mean. But I think in most cases Hera values scouting his base more. He values pushing in there. He values scouting your base more than laming your rhino. So I don't think Hera's gonna be doing that this set. Vinchester, though, I could see Vinchester do that. That's the kind of aggressive kind of stuff that Vinchester likes. And Vinchester is also a micro nerd, so Hera is gonna have his work cut out for him today. Now, let's see. We got 4 on wood. That's, well, of course, that makes sense with Incas, because it's not going to be a scout opening. As for the Berber player, 3 on wood. So probably scouts versus men-at-arms then, or straight archers for Hera. Depends on when he builds his barracks. We'll see in a second. He is pushing in his Zebra right now, so it sounds like a defensive build. Now, if you wanted to go men-at-arms, you kind of want to go and scout now, right, and see where your opponent is, like Vinchester did. So see, Vinchester knows exactly where to send his scouts now. And, if you go straight archers, it takes a while before you can really move out anyway, so you don't really have to scout your opponent for that reason. You should still scout your opponent, which is what Hera's going to do now. Because you still want to know, okay, I know what I'm going for, but what is he going for? And Hera doesn't know for sure if the Berber player is actually going to go for scouts. He is going to go for scouts, I think. But still. Anyways, looking at the map here, it's quite open for Vinchester in the back, as you can see. There's 3 nice wood lines there. This one can be ranged, though, so there's that. But the left side of his base is quite open. There's 2 golds right there as well, so all of the golds are very, very defensible. If Vinchester gets a wall up right there and right here, that's all his gold and stone in the back of his base. That is a perfect map for Berbers, Golds to expand to. Your main gold is, forward, but not too far forward. And you got stone in the back as well, in case you want to go for camel archers. Very nice. Wood might be an issue, though. That's the only thing. But similarly so for Hera, if you think about it. Like, his wood lines are strung out as well. The front of his base is very open. Way more open than Vinchester's base. And Hera is not going to go for men-at-arms. He is going to go for a drush. Did see that Vinchester scouted around his base. So he's only now sending that villager out to gold, and I see that much more, right? By the way, it used to be what you did. You got 10 gold, right, and then you made three militia, and then you were done. But now what happens? You make 3 militia, and then you get 10 gold to get loom later, right? Different order, which makes perfect sense to me. Also, might hide that villager, because that's something that you should scout as the opponent, right? You want to scout that. As Hera's gonna wall the left side of the map, very nice. You could wall here too, but yeah, whatever. As the drush comes forward, and Vinchester is just going to make... he's still going to go for a stable at some point, but let's hope that actually goes up. Yeah, right, that straight wood line. Yeah, I pointed it out at the start, but this is like an actual wood line. An actual wood line. It's, yeah. Kind of funny, as Vinchester now notices the drush coming and walls in these villages, which is not very efficient, of course. We'll have to expand those walls when he can, but yeah, Hera, of course, is perfectly happy to be annoying on the berry bushes here. Okay, Vinchester being smart here. Smart is, you know, walling in his villages just to make sure he can get that barracks up. Because that barracks needs to be up. He's not Khmer after all. You can't just drop your stable without making your barracks. That's not how it goes. At the same time, we got a scout here trying to maybe get a kill. In 30 seconds, a scout could kill a walling village. So if Vinchester expects a villager to be walling on the left, he could totally try to snipe that. Although Hera might try to quick wall that in. Vinchester should also be very careful here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he stops! Wow, he noticed it. He noticed it. Did you see that? He stopped at 1 food. Can you still see if the gold has been taken in the fog? No, you cannot. You can't, you cannot see that 10 gold has been taken in the fog of war. That's too little gold. If you get to a larger amount of gold, like say when it start, you know, when the gold pile changes in appearance, that you can see through the fog of war. But if you look at Vinchester's fog of war, you can't click the gold, right? You can't click that. He actually just saw that Hera was on gold, but I think at this point he probably knew because militia. As Hera is just being super annoying right now with these militia. These militia have gotten all the value in the world already, as far as I'm concerned. Pushing villagers off of berries, pushing the villagers off of gold. This is good. This is what a Drush is supposed to do. This is what Drush into archers. Why Drush into archers is such a strong strategy. As Vinchester, he was not gonna go for a stable. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he was not going to go for archers, but he is going to go for archers now to deal with these militia in the back of his base. As the militia are trying to get a kill here, Hera's going to block that villager for sure with the eagle, trying to get the kill. Vinchester might wall her out. Yep, very nice. Walls her out, but there's another villager in harm's way here. 1 HP, Vinchester blocking with his own vills, and she is going to speed out of here because she is a Berber villager, and those are so fast, can't catch up with that. I mean, in theory, right? In theory, militia are just a teensy bit faster. But I mean, at that point, there's no way to catch up. Now, Hera's looking good here. Looking good. Showed up to play, and probably also recognized that you know, he has to hold high the honor for aftermath. You know, because someone has to make it here. You know, with Nikov being out, and then also MBL being out, aftermath not having the best day in the world, then. As Hera is going to take the food from the ostrich and the zebra, because why not? It's extra food. Why not to take that? As we have militia being annoying here on the berries. Vinchester trying to wall that in, and now that little army should go down, and there you go. Archers do very well against militia, obviously. You know, half fletching. Some more archers coming out, and what is Hera making? He's making eagles and archers. Ooh. Interesting. We have both. That is an interesting combination there, especially because there's no skirmishers on the field just yet. You know, normally you make eagles against skirmishers because they're so, yeah, it's like scouts against skirmish, right? Against archers, it's a little bit sus because you only have 2 pierce armor without upgrades. You know, as we have an archer behind the wood line, very annoying, but it can't range the villagers quite. Maybe from this angle, yep, it can range the villagers there. Arrow will probably send some archers to deal with that. Very nice. Hera's also gotten the walls up, and as you can see, his walls look pretty nice. You know, using the town center as a turret at the front to keep military out, and the walls for the rest protect most of his economy. Berries are safe, and the gold is safe. That's the most important thing, of course. As Vinchester tries, yeah, he's not gonna continue to micro that one. That was just an annoying archer to delay a little bit here and there. Make Hera's economy just that percentage less efficient, which really at the higher level, when it's really close, can make all the difference in the world. Okay, so Vinchester still hasn't really walled up his base, and doesn't really look like he's going to. I mean, you are Berbers, right? So you will most likely have more mobility than your opponent. But right now, Vinchester has been forced into archers, or at least, again, not really sure if that was the plan. But the fact he had 3 villagers on wood at the start of the game, you know, that is a scout build order. So I'm pretty sure he was going to go scouts, but then changed his plans because of Hera's Drush. You know, so but again, so that's why I say forced into archers. I don't think that was the plan. In any case, has quite a good number of food, but so does Hera, and Hera's play has always been really clean. You know, like, whatever he does, this dude gets up, clicks up to the next stage by 18 minutes, you know, which is a normal time to click up. That gives you a good castle each time. As Hera is he's just going forward, seeing if he can get some value with this little army. But again, this is not an army to kill Vinchester. It's just an army to see, is there a weak Vil somewhere? A straggling Vil? Can I kill that? But the answer to that is no. Both players on, getting close to the food count necessary to click up here. But Vinchester has fewer farmers out than Hera does, which is problematic if he plans to go knights in the next stage, because you do need a healthy farming economy, kind of like this actually. Yeah, 14 farms looking really nice. And both players clicking up around the same time. Vinchester just that tiny second earlier than Hera. But, I mean, a difference like that's not going to matter too much here, at least. Hera, though, he does have one more villager than Vinchester. I'm not actually sure what that is. Vinchester didn't lose any. ILTC time is the same. Huh? How is that? How is he a villager ahead? That's kind of weird. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Right? He didn't. No, neither side lost a villager. They both have the same ILTC time. They both went up at exactly the same time, and they both got loom. Like, that's kind of weird. Okay, well, I'm confused by that, but that doesn't matter. And okay, well, I guess a villager leads for Hera then, as Vinchester is definitely going to go for cavalry. I mean, again, that should not surprise anyone. That shouldn't surprise Hera as well. He probably will know cavalry is coming forth. And of course, with Berbers, you can expect a lot of cavalry as well. Because that's what Berbers do best, of course. Flooding cavalry in the Castle Age. Very nice. Let's see. We have Vinchester just kind of trying to knock on the wall. Again, the wood situation for Hera is kind of tricky, because he basically has two wood lines, one of which is kind of being delayed by these freaking archers right now. And Vinchester again sending an archer back to that one spot where he was before. Now what Hera is going to do, I think he's going to stick with crossbows for now. Doesn't have a whole lot of archers on the field right now. Does he have Town Watch? Actually, let's check that. Hera should not have Town Watch then. Let's see, did Vinchester get Town Watch? Yes, yeah, that's it. That's it. You're right. You're right. Nice call. That must be it. He got Town Watch. I must have missed that. As, Hera is sending his crossbows onto the back of Vinchester's wood line. And Vinchester had a lot of military for it, but he did not see that army come forward. And 4 villagers bite the dust in quick succession. And now we know what caused this villager difference. Now we do know what what the difference was there. Vinchester was planning to come forward with a siege workshop now, but now has to contend with 9 crossbows in the back of his own base. Has a tower on his gold as well, so booming is not going to be an option for now, not without stone, that is. And Vinchester's ultra safe base is not safe if there's no walls up and crossbows can roam around freely. These knights still lack the final armor upgrade, which is kind of important as well. Hera's going to drop a town center now on the wood line, so he can maybe defend himself a little bit more against the archers from Vinchester, because he's not going to upgrade these archers, which means they won't outrange the TC. As, oh no, Vinchester's his villager gets found out here. Doubt siege workshop. It's a doubt shop. And that is not going to go up. And so no forward pressure from Vinchester for now then. As Hera, yeah, I mean, he might have scouted that with his eagle. But very nice, very good map awareness to, be checking for stuff like that. And then finding it as well. Yeah, ripped to that villager for sure. Jeez. Vinchester, he's trying to get his knight number up. Remember, 1 TC economy, even with Berbers, getting a whole lot of knights out is tricky. And Hera, of course, is just going to go to the second TC. As soon as he has the stone for the next one, as he has the wood for the next one, we'll get another TC. That might go up right there to protect your left flank and get to stone as well. I think that's probably the likeliest TC spot. I mean, this is kind of far forward. I'm not sure if that's smart to put a TC right there against knights. As Hera continues to check, he wants to see did he complete that siege workshop or not, because that should tell you enough about what Vinchester's plans are. As Hera coming forward, sees that mangonel now, running right underneath it, because of course, confidently microing there. Ooh, dodging there, very nice. And Vinchester's gonna lose that mangonel without it doing anything. Expensive unit to lose as well. Expensive unit to lose. Let me just get positioned here a little bit more comfortably. Very nice. Yeah, this army has not been doing anything the last time. I don't think it can do a lot, really, but yeah. Archer numbers for Hera growing sharply. This is something we haven't seen the entire last set, really. Is someone having a giant ball of military and not losing it in one blow. As Hera, quick wall, you gotta keep the knights out, because these are still knights. Okay, well, Vinchester doesn't want to run to the TC, because he does not have the final armor upgrade. He's gonna try to get through the palisade walls, but yeah, Hera is just gonna wall that out with houses. Which now, I know they have only one melee armor, but still, it buys you enough time to bring your crossbows over and push this army away. Hera still does not have ballistics, but might drop a university soon here to get that upgrade. Because fighting against knights, you know, having ballistics definitely makes that a lot easier. It's also making a lot of pikemen right now from 2 barracks, so yeah, Hera is meaning to push forward here with infantry and crossbows. As we now have wow, that is a ballsy town center right there. I mean, I guess it didn't fit right there. Maybe because of the hill. Anyway, Vinchester has to run away from the monks, has to run away from the crossbows. That's 4 monks on the field already. The town center will go up. I don't think that can be stopped, honestly. And man, what an open terrain here to fight with this weird wood line in the middle. That's 3 mangonels though for Vinchester. 3 mangonels, difficult to micro against. So let's see what Hera does once he sees that. There come the knights. He sees that 1 mangonel, 2 mangonel. Kabam! Pikeman very scared of mangonels. And now you see 3 mangonels, and that's a whole different puppy. And I'm not sure, do Incas get redemption? Yes, they do. They do get redemption. So Hera could get redemption on the monks here, maybe to fight. As he got 2 conversions on knights earlier, sending them up against the mangonels now. You know, these knights, of course, are just as good as these knights because they were converted. Yeah, 3 mangonels though on the hill. Ooh, nice attack ground. Pikeman getting slaughtered. Again, nice attack ground there. Thinning out those numbers, allowing Vinchester to engage here with his own knights. Hera trying to get a crossbow. Crossbow. Trying to get one of the mangonels. Dodging still with crossbows on the front. Gets another mangonel. Okay, good. Good. We're good. We're fine. Out of the woods now. Lost a bunch of crossbows there. I mean, there was at least 5 kills there, but in the end, it's now not 4 mangonels, but only 2, which is, only 1, so that's much better. So I get a nice attack round there for Vinchester. He's been doing a good job with that. Hera still, I mean, it's a mangonel on a hill. It's still difficult, tricky to deal with. Monks trying to go for conversions, but they cannot be too close to this mangonel. They did get Sanctity? I think so. And redemption coming in, yes, and that's exactly what you need against a siege push right here as well. Vinchester still 1 town center on 50 villagers for now. Hera on 3 town centers is at 63 villagers, and Vinchester still, he does know about this, so he does know about this as town center. That might be a likely target for him, as he's still trying to build his knight numbers. But yeah, it's difficult, right? It's difficult. You're up against the counter as, monks almost going down here to the mangonel. But now, Hera could convert these mangonels. Yep, doing that right now. Monks, because they have Sanctity, survive those shots. Very nice. And then 1 conversion, the other one goes down. And Vinchester says, GG, because my all-in is not going to work here. Not against pikemen, not against siege, and not against redemption monks. And Hera winning a clean victory here against Vinchester in game 1. GG. On the 30-minute mark as well. Good stuff. And how are you? Oh, wait, actually, I didn't say hi to you, Ettercup Cabal. Whoops. It's because your name is green to me as well. I thought you were Nico. Whoops. Oh, man. Sorry, man. I didn't say hi to you. Well, how are you doing? Now I feel bad. Darn huge stream chat making people in chat the same color. Oh boy. Anyway, GG. Good stuff though. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, at this point, right? Like, it's Vinchester took some damage early on, then decide, his entire game plan was shook up already because it wasn't scouts, it wasn't, knights was the plan, but yeah. And in the end, this all-in didn't really do too much because Hera got too far ahead and kept his military alive with pikemen. So very nice. And I'm doing fine too. I'm doing what I love doing, which is casting. And there's some you lovely people here as well, which makes it so much more fun. But good to hear you're doing fine. I mean it's a nice Friday afternoon, at least for me, casting Age Vampires. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Well, we're probably going to go into the second game soon, so let me just rush through the statistics here a little bit because we don't want to fall behind or anything. Look at that. Yeah, better KD for Vinchester, and that was also mangonel shots. Like, the mangonel shots, the micro was really good with that. So good stuff for for Vinchester. But yeah, losing some knights to conversions definitely doesn't help you. Much more military on the field for Hera as well. Look at that. I mean, the military he was making was cheaper overall. But I mean, for even with the Berber discount, but he was also on 2 town centers, you know, so. And that's why you bring in almost 3,000 more resources. That makes all the difference in these kind of situations. You know, yeah. Didn't lose a single villager either, so that's, yeah, really good stuff. So, GG, let me update the scoreboard, and Hera getting the first win of the day. Of the set, I mean. Perfect. And how you doing, Dryer Singer? Good to see you, man. Man. Although you really need to tell me what name you want me to call you by, because you got 3 names. In my Discord, you're named Cat, and then here you're Dryer Singer, and then in game you're also another name. Well, how you doing, man? Good to see you. And all right, I should check if there's a second game. Actually, hang on, let me check that. Oh, we do have a second game, so let's not fall behind. This is my school Twitch account. Oh, for if you're at school, then nice. Aren't you supposed to be learning, young man? Magnus won the chess game. Now only Viper needs to win King of the Desert, right? Go Norway, lol. Are you a Viper fan then? I mean, he was looking really good in the 2 sets that he played for the group stage, like looking really strong. It's I think Viper is definitely a contender. I wouldn't even consider him an underdog here, honestly. In all honesty, like I think it's Yo is right up there. I think Viper's right up there. Jordan is looking really good right now, so it's gonna be something. I have a time at the end of the day where I can do what I want on my computer. Nice, and you choose to spend your time here on my stream. I love it, man. I love it. I appreciate that. And let me get into the second game so we can keep up with the flow as we have a bit of spec delay. So I guess we can quickly look at the draft. Here we go. No, wait, not Chinese. Incas. Can you give me the Discord link? Well, I updated the link in the description, and you can also, if you want the Discord link, just type this command, like ! Discord. That will get you there as well. There you go. No problem, man. And let's see. Well, I mean, we have to get into the next set. We don't have time to speculate really about civilizations, but I can imagine that Hera, you know, feeling good about his chances here. Will probably go for. He might just continue going for some more YOLO civs. I'm talking about Mongols. I'm talking about Burgundians, but it's very likely he's just gonna pick one of the 3: the Chinese, Britons, or Ethiopians. Civs that Hera will be very good with because Archer Micro is all that this dude wants to do. And yep, that's what we thought. Here we go. Welcome to the second game here between Hera and Vinchester. And indeed, Hera has gone for Chinese. Like a viewer in chat already said, basically giving him a free win. Now, I mean, I wouldn't put it like that, obviously, because anything can happen and you don't want to, you know, discount what Vinchester could do here. But we have to recognize that Hera is insanely strong with Chinese. Giving him all those options, all the defensive options as well. It's definitely buffing his chances a lot for Hera. So Vinchester picking a strong civ himself, picking Mayans as a counter. You know, we'll see how that's going to go. Eating multiple sheep. Wait, who? Wait, was that Hera or was it Vinchester? Not Vinchester. Did Hera just eat He is eating multiple sheep. Oh God! And we said, look at the massacre, the mess that you've made. Gotta love it when your villagers don't listen, huh? Yeah, it's okay. We'll forgive him. He's still the cleanest player in the game there. But yeah, I mean, like the reason why you wouldn't eat multiple sheep here is because the decay of food, right? If you have 2, you know, it's better to take put about 6 villagers on 1 sheep, of course, because that way the decay is minimum and the amount of gain you get for it is maximum as well. Like that's kind of what has been the calculation so far, except with Britons, then 5 will do. With Chinese, you kind of need 7 because you don't have food at the start, so you kind of need to balance it out a little bit. As Vinchester's already scouting around. And Hera, where's Hera right now? Hera's right here, pushing in his zebra, because if you're Chinese, you kind of need to push in your hunt a little bit. Because you're down food, you need to make up for that as well, because you still need that food to get up to the next stage, that's why. You'll need a lot of force drop-offs as well. Now, for mines, of course, laming is always a possibility. It's very easy to wall with mines because you always have loom at the start of the game, so no scout can kill you. So you can get whatever wall up if you want. Question: what is this? You mean like what tournament is this? This is King of the Desert 4. It's a pro player tournament, and it is only played on a special version of Arabia. Although this is not really that special anymore because it's literally the Arabia of the ranked map pool now. So it's basically just Arabia. It's the same map every time, and the pro players try to become the king of the desert. And we're in the, let's see, this is the deciders. So that means that Hera and Vinchester in the group stage, they both won and lost the game, which means that they are now fighting it out for the final quarterfinal spot. So like the final spot in the best of 8. Which is why the stakes are high. Are you playing in it? No. Oh, I'm flattered that you would think that, but these players are way beyond my level. Trust me. Like the amount of stuff that these players can do is crazy. I wouldn't even dream of making it this far in this tournament. You know, like that's. I'm just a plebcaster at that. Like these are the absolute top of the world. Like when you're talking about elo, like basically a number that displays your skill, really. Like I'm around 1300. These people are above 2000, 2400 even. Like it's these are the absolute creme de la creme of Age of Empires players. And I mean, I'd love to be at some point be competitive enough that I maybe might be able to like take a game off of one of these people. But that is a long ways away. Lots of practice for me if I wanted to do that. You'll know, you'll see if you keep watching this, you know, like the kind of micro, you know, that they could do. Macro as well, like their economies are always super clean as well, you know exactly what you want to do. Looks like Vinchester actually, hey, later are we gonna campaign together? Well, probably not today and also not this weekend probably, because I will be busy with the tournament, but we'll find a date next week, yes? We can prick a date then. Good stuff. It's I mean, tournament is a bit. It's like most of these days are like 9 hours, so that's a lot of casting on my part as well. So I'm totally pooped after every day. You know, I must say, casting pretty intense activity, honestly. Anyways, we haven't really talked about the maps here for the two players, but Mayan map, not as defensible as you would think. You know, all the woodlines being to the back. It's clicking up right now. He's not making men-at-arms, or is he just lacking the food? He's not going to gold either, so I think it's just straight into archers then. Yeah, he's not making any men-at-arms, so I guess, yeah, now someone is going out to gold. Like, if this was men-at-arms, you would be making them right now, so I think it's straight archers then. How about 12, 10, 20, 21? What about it? Oh, you're setting a date. How about we talk about that on Discord, man? How about that? I'll message you privately. That's probably easier than chat right now. Yes? I'll message you. Let's see. We got both players going up around the same time as well. And again, gold forward for Vinchester, berries forward as well. We got forward berries for Hera here as well. But his gold is in the back, so that's more defensible. And Hera is making men-at-arms. He is making men-at-arms. And thank you for the follow, man. With your school account. Let's see. Well, I mean, Vinchester's just scouting around a little bit for now. But yeah, again, like I said, it's just going to be straight archers for him, I should think. But Hera's men-at-arms are coming forward, something that Vinchester should know, because he did scout that barracks, and I'm pretty sure he saw them pop out as well. He saw the flags on the building. So I think he is aware of this. He's just going to hope that he's going to get this archery range up just in time before the men-at-arms arrive. That might just look like three club boys right there, but these 3 club boys can do a whole lot of damage. Actually, they're holding a mace, aren't they? That actually hurts if you get hit with that, I can tell you that. Oh boy, Vinchester trying to wall in his villages there so he can get that archer range up. And Hera, yeah, of course he wants to deny that, but I don't think he can deny that. Tries to get into the berries, quick wall there for Vinchester, keep that out, very nice. At the same time, some walls on the right here to keep this army from progressing any further. Also walling to your TC here to make sure that if Hera wants to go past, he has to run under the TC. Not something you want to do with these men-at-arms. And Hera's just looking for a way in. If there's a hole there, is that a hole? No, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. It looks very cluttered and messy, but I think we're okay here. Yeah, so the men-at-arms in the end from Hera are not going to do too much damage here. Besides the, you know, the awkward quick wall and things like that. Of course, the men-at-arms still here. It takes a while before your archer numbers are, you know, strong enough to take on the men-at-arms easily. Although one archer can still chip away at their health. Walling in another villager on gold, because you kind of need more villagers on gold here. It's already awkward enough because the mining camp is placed like this. Alright, but at least these villagers are safe. And thank you for the subscription, man. Awesome stuff. I really appreciate that, Ettercob. Really appreciate that. Thanks, man. Well, you can look forward to some more awesome content coming my way. And now you can use your the GG emote. I only have one at this point because apparently you need to get it's up to you need to get subscription points or something like that, and you can add more emotes. It says, oh boy, villager going down. Almost Hera tries to block it. Nope, she is alive. She is safe. Hera scout going down as well. And men-at-arms, I mean, the men-at-arms are still alive, and something you cannot fight with your Eagle Warrior, because they do bonus damage to your Eagles. You can see that right there, Eagle Warrior +2. That's 8 attack. You do not want to fight that with Eagles. Yeah, so Hera, yeah, Vinchester is going to run away from these men-at-arms for now. And of course, there's always something that's in the back of Hera's pocket, right? He can always try to add his own longswords if the eagle spam gets too much from Mayans, right? Now, Vinchester is a little bit behind here once, also in villager. Well, actually, no. More idle time for Hera. But of course, because Hera starts with +2 villagers, he should be 1 villager ahead. You know, you start with +3 villagers for Chinese, then you have about 20 seconds of idle time trying to get the food for the next vill. But then you have Loom as well, so it ends up evening out to about 2 villagers. If you do it correctly, of course. It is one of the more difficult shifts to play, especially for beginner players, because you have to master that start with no food. But if you master that start, then you get a crazy strong civilization with so many options. Like, the Chinese can do anything. Their tech tree is very open. Again, if there is any civ that was good to counter Mayans, which are a very strong civ in their own right, Chinese would be one of them. I mean, Chinese get champions. They get Cavalier, you know, all these things that could be good against Mayans. As Hera sniping a bunch of the archers as well. He wants to keep these archer numbers as low as he possibly can, because he recognizes the danger of Mayans having a lot of archers. That is, of course, their forte, as you might say. Now, these eagles do, in theory, do well against these skirmishers, but guess what? The men-at-arms are still here. And as a result, these eagles cannot engage against the skirmishers because these men-at-arms would absolutely wreck them. So Hera is... he's loving life right now. Is on gold, so Hera probably looking to click up as soon as he can here. Has walled off the left side, so at least there is not a lot of damage to be done here. I think most that this skirmisher could do is just be annoying in the wood line, really. As Hera sending an army forward, but Vinchester is the first to click up here. This might be a bit of Mayan privilege. Mayans have a very good economy. They get more resources out of the same amount. So say if you get a tree with 100 wood, a Mayan player could get 110 wood out of that. Something like that. I'm not exactly sure what the number is, but that's how you need to imagine it. As Hera's still sniping, he's hunting down these archers and he's getting a bunch of kills with them as well. The men-at-arms doing great against the eagles. Yeah, military-wise, it's definitely in the favor for Hera, but Vinchester has clicked up. Hera, not so much. Everyone says Chinese is so hard at the start, so I'm only 1k, but I don't get why people think it's hard. I mean, like, it's just, if you don't know about the start, right? If you don't know about the start, it can be difficult for especially for newer players. Like, yeah, but if you can manage that start properly, you know exactly the build order, what to do with it, then indeed Chinese is that's doable. The only thing is, right? The only thing is that your opponents might also know. They also know that your start is tricky. So laming Chinese is a big deal. If you can lame a Chinese player, that immediately nerfs them because they already are down food and then they're down way more food than you. So that's also why, like, it can be countered by players, as we have stables now going up for Hera. That's 2 stables, so he wants to go for some knights then in the next stage to maybe counter the eagles, counter the skirmishers, and maybe then also counter the archers instead of making his own. He is making some archers here and there though, but yeah. We'll see how many upgrades he gets on his knights. But the fact we're seeing 2 stables, that's a pretty heavy investment into knights. So I'm pretty sure that is going to be knights from Hera. For now, he will just have to keep himself safe because Vinchester is up significantly before Hera, like a minute and 50 seconds there. So that is a pretty significant difference. He will have crossbows before Hera has the units to defend himself there. So Hera is going to have to keep himself safe here. Maybe wall a little bit more, but yeah, the archers are already there, so that's too late now. So they will break through here at some point. And hopefully for Hera, that is time enough for him to get some knights out and maybe defend himself. Vinchester does not know about the knights. He can't see the stables. That's hidden from him, so that's that. Hera also is going to drop a tower on the left side of his farm because he will need these farms in order to produce enough knights in order to defend himself. So, having a tower there, I guess, will keep him safe, but does mean that the Chinese player will not be able to drop another town center because that costs 100 stone. As the Eagle's trying to get in, now Vinchester sees the stables. Now he knows exactly what Hera is going to make, except Hera is making scout. Ooh, he's making scout cavalry. Oh, it's going to be knights. I mean, scout cavalry still do the trick against skirmishes, but they're not as good against eagles, and definitely not as good against crossbows. As the Eagles make it to the gold, but yeah, it's just Eagle Scouts. They're not particularly strong. They have 7 attack now, but still, you can fight that with villagers, and there you go. Eagle Scouts are down. Crossbow still looking to get some kills, but I think Vinchester's maybe a little bit anxious about the knight possibility here. Okay, so he is making knights now, so I figured. I mean, I would have been confused if Hera had continued to make scout cavalry here. What these are good for, though, if Vinchester saw the stable, so he's already gone for the counter. If Vinchester gets a monastery up right there, gets some monks out, which he is doing right now, he can convert your knights. And of course, scouts, they have a bonus damage versus monks that can easily snipe those. So yeah, Hera is looking for them. 11 attack against monks, by the way. If you're not if you're not an Aztec monk, you go down to that quite quickly. 3 hits actually. Yeah, Vinchester is defending the front of his base right now. A very important place, of course, because that's where his gold is, between 2 little awkward hills. So that's yeah. And so we have a skirmisher from Hera. No, from Hera being chased by a lion. That's just a scout, really. As the scout cavalry find an eagle warrior that was just happily scouting around. That should go down at least. Yeah, Hera's blocking it as well. Boom, there it goes. Taking away all the eyes in the field from Vinchester. As Hera's just going to run right through Vinchester's base with these scouts to be annoying. And now you've got scouts in the back of your base. And Hera, I mean Vinchester dropping a town center on stone as well. You might want a castle at some point to go for some plumed archers with Mayans, which of course is a great unit. It is basically one of the most mobile units that they have. It's basically the equivalent of a cavalry archer except no horses. It's as good as it gets for metro civs, really. As Hera's just scouting around, he saw that extra town center being added, or at least he will see it now if he goes to the left, that is. And yeah, now, I mean, he should know now. He should know now. He might not actually see it as these scouts get a kill, but Vinchester's like, you are never gonna leave, sir. Never gonna leave. So the first eco kill of the game, but yeah, there go the scouts. Skirmishers just being annoying in the back of your base. We have, I guess, a lion rush now. Yep, there's the lion. As the skirmisher goes down, another lion is not gonna kill anything. Okay, lion was apparently the lion was a little bit biased, didn't like the blue player more than the purple player. Skirmish is still annoying, but yeah, 1 knight should easily counter that. Knight numbers are rising now for Hera. He is still only on 1 town center though. Remember, he dropped the tower, so he can't add another town center until he gets his stone count up, which he's doing right now. So that tells me that Hera does want to go to more TCs. I don't think he wants to be all in here. That wasn't the plan, at least. Has a bunch of knights out now to protect himself, but again, this is just a little bit of aggression to see. Just poking Vinchester a little bit, as Vinchester is dropping a tower now on his gold. I'm not sure if that's... I mean, against archers, yes, totally. But against knights and mangonels, I'm not sure if that's always worth it or not. But we'll see. Anyways, the tower goes up. That means he can't drop another town center, but he's already on 3, so it's fine for him. 53 villagers for both. A lot of idle TC time for Vinchester, as you can see, because he doesn't quite have the food to be producing pikemen. And, oh, giant shot there on the crossbows. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Vinchester definitely doesn't want to be there. But yeah, now the monk numbers, not good for Hera as he loses one mangonel, loses the other mangonel. Should run away here for sure. Conversion coming in as well, and this is not a good fight for Hera to be taken, at least. Not the best. The pikemen have gone down, loses a few knights as well. 3 knights to conversions, actually. Knights that can be healed up and then used against siege, which is why it's so dangerous to let your knights be converted, because now this mangonel is at risk. Now, Hera has gotten the stone out for a town center, is going to drop one on the fort wood line. I like that, because Hera's wood lines were the dangerous part of his base. I wonder where the second TC is going to go. It might go up right there on a gold. Maybe. Might go up on the other side of this wood line. I'm not sure what it is. There's a hole right there right now, but since Vinchester is not attacking, it's okay. Vinchester's stone count, though. Look at that stone count go up. And I'm pretty sure that castle goes up right there in front of your main gold, next to your stone, so you can get more castles out if you wanted to. Hera runs away from the conversions. Going knights against monks and pikemen. This is kind of the problem that Vinchester had the first game, except now it's the other way around. Now it's Hera who has the knights and has to show, how do we win against pikemen and monks? How do we beat this? Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. And guys, we have a monastery now from Hera. And I was wondering if maybe it is an idea if Hera added his own monks. And clearly he seems to agree. Doesn't have quite enough gold yet to make monks, but that is the plan, probably. Now, what Hera does have, as the castle goes it goes up exactly on that part of the hill. Like, this is the most likely spot, right? What Hera does have is mobility, and that's what he could use with his knights. You can run around. It takes a while for Vinchester to get his army over there, right, to try to stop you. It takes forever. You can run away again. As Hera is trying to destroy this university, it's like, you cannot have ballistics. No ballistics for you. No knowledge for you. You have to be stupid. Yeah, well, I mean, it actually, stopping the university from your opponent if they're playing archers and you're playing knights is a big deal, because these knights can dodge shots quite easily. It's really difficult to hit knights with crossbows if you don't have ballistics. So actually, killing that, not the worst idea, actually. We got some monks coming out. I think Hera was thinking about getting that relic, but probably, wants to bring its knights over first to see if Vinchester is over there. You don't want to lose your knights, your monk just yet. They are 100 gold after all. Quite expensive. We have the knight numbers rising for Hera. He's at 66 villagers, 74 for Vinchester, who has been on 3 town centers, 1 town center more, and is also making plumed archers. Now Hera sees the castle, he will know, okay, I'm not going to be able to push into this base in castle age. This is probably going to go to Imperial Age. Like, that wouldn't surprise me. And when we're talking about Imperial Age, right, what is better, Mayans or Chinese? It's, oh, Hera, remember I said there was a hole? Well, that hole is much bigger now, and these knights, these converted knights, getting a bunch of villager kills, and the eco KD much in the favor of Vinchester right now. Vinchester's looking really good in this game. The position is good. And I know that Hera with Chinese is a beast, but Mayans are strong. There's a reason why a lot of pro players keep banning Mayans. There's a good reason for that. It's because it's a really good civilization. You can get away with a whole lot of things, as Hera is getting the light cap upgrade now to snipe his opponent's monks. As, Vinchester is perfectly happy just committing these knights against random villagers just to get some more vill kills. Some stone miners going down. Stop Hera from maybe getting a castle up in his own base. And Hera will need a castle defensively soon. But look at that gold count. You stop making military for a second and boom, you have the food not necessary to go in. And you can just start pushing. He already has 25 crossbows on the field, a castle in the middle as well. More barracks going up for pikemen. Hera finding the monks kind of alone right here. Gets 1, gets 2. Very nice. Losing only 1 light cap. A little raid there in the dark as he goes around. Maybe tries to go again as the pikemen run in here trying to get the mangonels. Will get 1 mangonel at least. The castle going up in the front on a nice little hill. It's very defensive. That's good. The mangonel will stay alive because Hera's going to repair that. Very nice. And a monk coming forward as well. This is so difficult to fight against with knights because of the fact that they counter you. And a conversion coming in as well. Oh, Hera. And the monk stays alive too on 1 HP. But not for long. No. Hera's like, okay, well, he's going to be cautious then. And maybe shoot it with his castle, but no ballistics. That's going to be difficult. Hera, though, clicking up first to Imp. So he's thinking about trapping this back then. The problem is, militarily wise, look at the military count difference. Look at that, 17 to 45. Much more military on the field here for Vinchester. And also remember, plumed archers are very dangerous, especially if you can get a mass of them. Although Hera is Esther trash, so I guess so. Anyways, Vinchester buying some food. He wants to get up the imp as well. Might have seen the score drop from Hera, and you definitely cannot underestimate the power of going to imp first. Hera's going to be almost a minute ahead, a minute exactly actually, ahead of Vinchester to the next age. And getting the last armor upgrade on his knights, if that's what he wants to go for, which I think it is, can definitely wipe out this force. Even though it is almost 30 crossbows already. No ballistics yet for Vinchester too. Ooh. As we have a Mangonel now defending. Yeah, Vinchester's gonna run away. Vinchester also dropping another castle now. He's getting himself a really nice defensive line. And this is exactly what Mayans want to do. If you are gonna go for archers, and especially if you're gonna go for crossbows, you're likely they're going to be pushing down the middle. And this is a really nice defensive position for Vinchester. You know, the stone is probably the safest spot on the map, right in the middle of the triangle. The next castle, you know, you can start trapping, and the next castle could go right there on a hill, you know, things like that. You can even get a castle up on this hill, just put pressure on Hera from the left, and Hera is quite far behind. It's 77 villagers for him, 93 for Vinchester. Again, Hera on 2 town centers only, not 3. So he is behind the military. So what he's hoping right now is that he can get enough of a power spike in Imperial Age, maybe, to start trapping back the middle and maybe gain a momentum lead over Vinchester. But it's going to be difficult, especially if Vinchester's making more plumed archer. He's not going to get Arbalest, he's going to get elite plumed archer upgrade, which doesn't actually cost gold, which is pretty sweet. Look at that, these plumed archers keeping up with the knights as well. They're only slightly slower. You know, not that much even. They're ideal to raid around as well, you know, just like you would use cavalry archers. You go around raiding different spots and then you run away when your opponent attacks you. Hera dropping 2 castles on the front of his base. He is getting some trebuchets out. He does not get bombard cannons, unfortunately, for the Chinese player. I know it's not very historical, but still. As Vinchester sees this giant knight army, and he's like, okay, we'll run away. Well, I'm going, don't worry. Hera's going to chase that, but again, though the knights are technically faster. Ooh, but then there's Lightcap from the other side. Hera wants to encircle this army. He wants to trap this army as good as he can, and he might actually get a trap a little bit. 1 plumed archer going down, but for the rest they will run away because they're speedy enough. But Hera might commit to this. He doesn't have the final armor upgrade just yet, so I don't think he should. Not against plumed archers. They're quite speedy and strong, but as we have a trebuchet now moving forward for Hera. He might wait until he has like a second, at least 3 trebuchets now. As Cavalier comes in, traps rolling forward for Vinchester, and there's the Halberdier upgrade, and that is going to be a problem for the Chinese player, because you have Cavalier, but Cavalier die to Halberdier, big time. Look at the attack bonus, 32 extra attack versus cavalry. That's crazy. That means they do 38 damage. You know, they kill a Cavalier in what, 5 shots. And Chinese do not get Paladin, and also getting armor against the Halberdier does not help you a lot. It really doesn't. As the first castle for Hera might go down here, but he's defending right now with trebuchets against trebuchets. He's still repairing his castles as well and kind of thinking about what unit do we go for here. There's still lots of villages that can be raided on the right as well, and there go the plumed archers. Now Hera will have to send his cavalier to deal with this because there's a lot of villages on gold right there, and Vinchester will probably be able to defend himself. Although Bracer is in, yes, but the final armor upgrade is in as well. These are not elite plumes just yet, so that upgrade shall be coming in sooner rather than later. Hera is losing a lot of villagers. So many villagers going down. 83 to 112 villagers. And Vinchester is looking good. Looking good to series. And I told you that this series, this might be might be a very close series for now. I mean, it looks like Hera is probably going to have to tap out in this game if he cannot turn it around sooner rather than later. As we already have, what, 5 trebuchets on the front, ready to massacre and destroy these castles. And Hera might just commit here with his cavalier, just to, you know, kind of a desperation move to try to get the traps down. But there's Halberdier here, so that wouldn't work. Now he's going to have to just make it a full trap war, repairing here, trying to keep your trebuchets up. But of course Vinchester might just might just decide, what is this cool? I'm just going to send my halberdiers in and take down your villagers and use them to tank some fire there, so I can get my plumed archers near as well. Look at that, villagers going down. Again, Hera does not want to fight the halberdiers. He does not want to fight these. We have a conversion coming in now on, I guess, a halberdier. One trebuchet going down for Hera as well. Lots of these cavalier going down, but a lot of halberdier have gone down as well. I mean, they are fighting in between two castles, but without ballistics, by the way. That doesn't help. As Hera is getting some elite skirmishers out. That might be very nice. And at the same time, ooh, Cavalier in the wood line, getting a bunch of kills. Eco KD is 25 to 32. So Vinchester definitely lost a bunch of villagers in the back of his base right there. So it's nice for Hera to also be raiding around a little bit. And that's smart, especially because your Cavalier are not that useful in the front anymore. Especially as they're all going to go down gloriously. Don't even get the trebuchet. And Hera says, GG, because that is not possible anymore. Not when I'm at 87 villagers, 100 for Vinchester still, but Vinchester has that nice position, is killing all the trebuchets, and Hera probably recognizes. Chinese kind of have a little bit of a weakness against Mayans in that regard. You know, Chinese have a lot of options, but the power unit that they have, you know, like which would be the Chukunu, right, archers, that's something that Mayans can do really well as well. Yeah, infantry wasn't going to be the thing that you would go for in this situation. And then cavalry, you're up against with Cavalier. And indeed, G to the G. There you go. Emote. Let's go. You can use that now. Isn't that nice? Privilege. Alrighty, but we are tying it up here 1-1 between Vinchester and Hera. Very nice. And we have ourselves a set. And yeah, I mean, yes, Hera was getting early damage here with the crossbows against, with the crossbows against Vinchester, but Vinchester never gave up. Remembered that he was Mayans, and Mayan privileges thus that you can always come back in situations that you're behind. Just got himself a castle, kept himself safe, just kept poking at Hera's base, and then just started building a position forward. And Hera, yeah, with the Cavalier, the Knights was not really able to do much about it. Maybe Hera could have been raiding Vinchester's base a little bit more, but again, he was dealing with a lot of raids on his own base as well. And he definitely got delayed here by the attack by Vinchester. So really, if you feel like you're behind to the castle age, it's always worth it to try to pressure your opponent, because if you can get a tower out of them, that already gives you a huge win. Because Hera, right, couldn't add a town center until quite late, and as a result, he fell behind in vill count. Look at the military score there. Yeah, more kills there for Hera, because a lot of the kills there that he got were halberdiers that were spammed into a castle. But yeah, lots of conversions a little bit for both players, I guess. But look at the army high. Look at the difference. 85. Crazy army high there for Vinchester. He was spamming a lot of military. Very difficult to deal with. That wave got worse and worse for Hera. Slightly better economy as well for Vinchester. 6,000 resources. That's actually a pretty significant difference. Had 2 relics as well. You know, how you find the time to get those is beyond me, but still, nice. And then the village elite. And that was, of course, the most important part, because Vinchester had the resources to bring out more military than Hera. Alrighty, well, we're going to go to a game 3. If that's already live. Yes, it is. Alrighty, let's get into the third game then. Very nice. All going very swimmingly. Let me find the game in the lobby browser. See, there we go. Yep, there it is. We'll probably have a bit of spec delay, because we've had spec delay for the spectator delay, for the last few games. Yes, we did. So let's have a look at the draft. So it's a win for Vinchester, a loss for Hera with Chinese. Of all civs, right? Oh well. I guess it's not like Leary who it's not like Leary who gets Britons and just wins, period. In Red Bull Wolo, at least, it's 10 out of 10 wins, I think, with Britons. At least that was the stat. Now Hera, he's been hurt a little bit with the archer civs. I wonder if this might stir him into doing something wacky, going for Mongols or Burgundians, or just stick with his roots and continue with the clean archer play. You still have 1 eagle civ to deal with, but our Aztecs aren't as strong as Mayans are in that regard. Like, I prefer Mayans over Aztecs any day. Like, Aztecs have great eagles, yes, but they don't have halberdier, that's one, and they're not like a focused archer civ necessarily. A siege monk push are really strong with Aztecs, but that wasn't really Hera's problem last game. So we'll see. But Vinchester might also go for some cavalry again. We'll see how it's gonna go. In any case, game is starting. Yep, there it is. As we have an... Ooh, I have never seen that emote, lol. Hey guys, there we go. Awesome stuff. Oh, don't speed up, you. Don't speed up. Perfect. Alrighty, welcome to the third game here between Hera and Vinchester. It's a 1-1, so either side still equal chance to win this game and therefore stay into the tournament and make it into the final 8. And I mean, like, both players had very clean and, very good games as well. Hera looking very strong in the first game, but Vinchester countering right back in the second game. And what have we gone for now? Indeed, we have Sicilians for Vinchester, very nice. We got Mongols for Hera, and I was wondering if the loss with Chinese maybe prompted him to go for a more unusual Civ pick, I'm not saying that Mongols are a bad Civ pick on Arabia, they really aren't. They really aren't, this is true. But they do have fewer options than some of the other civs that Hera has in his draft. This is definitely something we need to recognize. Now, what Mongols can do really well is lame, right? So if Hera really wanted to, he could send a scout forward. He could go and try to lame, right? He could try to lame, say, an elephant or this one right there. Although Vinchester would probably be around here to make sure that that doesn't happen. If you are up against a Mongol player, you definitely want to keep your scouter out maybe at your base for the first start until you bring in your boars and your elephants. And then once those are in, you can go and scout, because at least that way you can't get lamed, right? Or at least keep your scout on the front of the map so that if he tries to lame you, you can block that with your own scout. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, right. So, yeah, so Mongols are good like that. But again, I don't think... Again, Hera is not really the laming kind of player, right? Like, if MBL had Mongols, which is why people ban it for him, MBL goes forward immediately, will lame you. Like, that's MBL. He is the master boar lamer after all. But yeah, Hera, I think, is more interested in bringing in these the extra hunt, which you also get the food bonus on with Mongols. You take it in much more quickly. Yeah, so having all that extra food allows you to get a really fast scout rush out. So I wonder if that is the plan for Hera as well. If he wants to go for a very low pop scout rush to try to get up as fast as he can and maybe overwhelm the Sicilian player before the Sicilian player can get the options out. Now, when we're talking Mongol Sicilians, I think Sicilians should be the better civ in Castle Age. I think it's an accepted fact that Mongols kind of slouch in the Castle Age. It's not really their main period. They kind of fall behind. They don't have a real eco bonus in that regard. They need something else. If they can get to Imperial Age, though, when you can get your Mangudai out or Cavalry Archers, that's when Mongols begin to shine once more. So I think it's important for Hera here to get an early lead. Get an early lead on his opponent using that faster scout rush maybe. Or anything else faster, right? Maybe a fast rush, or I don't know what the plan is, right? And try to do damage before his opponent can get all the options out. Because Sicilians are, again, will have the options in the Castle Age. Well, since Hera picked Mongols, now Vinchester pretty much know Hera will pick an Archer Civ next, Britons or Ethiopians, and he has Vietnamese to counter. Exactly. Now, it's smart drafting as well. I mean, Hera still has Burgundians in the draft, but I think, depending on how this game goes, I think he's more likely to pick an Archer Civ, yeah. And so Vinchester always has that in the back of his draft in order to counter that. This is true. But yeah, as you can see, Hera going up with 16 population. This is a really fast uptime. The only civ you can do this with is Mongols because of the hunt. If you bring in all the hunt, as you can see, that food is brought in so fast. Actually, he's not actually taking this food anymore. But it's brought in so fast that you can easily go up with 16 villages. Of course, after that, your economy is kind of strained. But if you can get a few scouts out first, before your opponent does, like Vinchester hasn't even clicked up and Hera is going to be in feudal age before. This is an extremely fast feudal age time. Like, some people are preparing a drush right now and Hera is just going to be up in 10 seconds. As Vinchester is clicking up, it's still going to be 2 minutes. 2 minutes in which he will not be able to make any spearmen whatsoever to defend himself against scouts. This is why the Mongol rush is legendary. It's their signature opening. And there you go. It's a stable already up. You have 350 food in the bank. Scouts can come out. And let's see what Vinchester's reaction is to this. Vinchester is going to go to gold. So he's not going to go for his own scouts. That much is clear. With Sicilians, I guess it's going to be archers for him. He is making a drush or a men-at-arm rush as well. No, it's men-at-arms, actually. Men-at-arms. I mean, I should imagine those will probably go forward, actually. But, of course, Hera, he's looking to attack already with his own scouts, so we'll see. This is a critical phase, right? This is a critical phase. Vinchester will know this as well. Like, if he can wither the Mongol storm in early feudal age, like, the longer the game goes, the better it gets. You know, until Imperial Age, when Mongols get great options again. But that early rush... That's critical, and that's what's coming. So he's going to wall in his woodline a little bit, keep himself safe, send the men-at-arms forward to counter, because he also knows that Hera's economy must be very fragile. In order to do this, you kind of need to ruin your early game economy to a certain degree, right? You know, normally we'd have more villages on wood and things like that. Scouts going for it though, but not a whole lot of villages that you can snipe here, because Vinchester was fortunate enough to have a wood line close to his berries, so he can keep all of this safe in the same spot, and the berries aren't that far forward either. As Hera now is going to run back, Vinchester reacting to that, at the same time sending his soon-to-be men-at-arms, if he gets that upgrade, that is. Yeah, there you go. Men-at-arm upgrade coming in, but Hera has walled. Has walled to his DC. Ooh, his scout though getting caught off guard here, but luckily gets away before taking too much damage. At the same time, Hera does get a villager snipe. Very nice. And might get another villager snipe. This is why Mongols are so dangerous. Another villager going down there for Vinchester. Looks like Hera is stuck in here. Yeah, Vinchester trapped Hera. It trapped his scouts, but the thing is, who's trapped now? Is it the villagers or is it the scouts? As Hera is going to kill another villager, maybe? At least one. This one should go down. Oh, it doesn't go down, and Hera doesn't get the kill. Oh, does he get the kill? One more hit, one more hit. Oh, Vinchester is so lucky, man. So lucky. As the man-at-arms trying to engage against something in the back, now get into the TC fire. Take a bit of a hit there. They want to go into the wood line, but there's no way to go there unless you walk around, which is where the pathing will tell them to go. Now, I must say the scout rush from Hera, he got 2 villages in total, which is good, right? It's good. But in the end, you know, you're still going to have to deal with the archers that come out. So I should imagine that Hera will probably get his own archers out. Yep, there you go. Or maybe skirmishers. But if you want to go for skirmishers, you need wood. And Hera only has 1 wood line right now, which is under continuous stress. So even despite all of this, the follow-up here is going to be critical for Hera as well. Because he did some damage, right, with his scouts. Still has some scouts out to attack. But he needs to make sure that Vinchester can't deny this wood line before he has enough army out to defend himself. Because he does not have a lot of wood to work with right now. The way that his base generated doesn't help him here. Like, if there had been a wood line right there, that would have been really nice. But that is not a thing. So, you will have to do something here as the men-at-arms are about to break through. Hera, you gotta wall this. Okay, there you go. And he's repairing that right now. But, of course, these men-at-arms, strong enough to keep this palisade wall down. Scouts, looks like they got hit by the TC spearmen. Oh, actually, Hera got a kill. See that? 3. So he did get a villager with those scouts. Very nice. 3 scouts. I mean, 4 scouts for 3 villagers. That's worth it. That's definitely... That's worth it, I would say. So his villagers are worth a lot right now. Now an archer coming out. As soon as that archer gets here, Hera will have to wall behind this. He will not be able to just repair this anymore. So he tries to wall with a house, trying to get this wall, but it's so difficult because you don't know if this house is placed correctly or not. He's trying to commit to it. This villager is very weak. Will have to run away now. As she is trying to finish the palisade wall, tries to finish the house, but there's only 67 HP on it and no melee armor. Actually, negative melee armor on that. So Hera's trying. He's trying to get the numbers up. He's waiting, right? He's just delaying as much as he can till he can get his own military numbers out because he needs to defend this wood line. That's very important. The only wood line he gets. And Vinchester knows that as well because he sees there's no one on wood over here. I should imagine Hera at some point will probably expand to this wood line. Hopefully he does because he needs to. This wood line is, again, very difficult situation as Hera runs up the hill. Vinchester responding to it. Hera gets an archer though. Micers away, loses an archer in the meantime. Lots of military still here for Vinchester. Not something that Hera can easily engage. Has fletching though, so he's going to push Vinchester away and therefore keeps his wood line intact. Hopefully he can expand to the second one as soon as possible. Maybe wall around a little bit, expand your walls. As for Vinchester, kind of the same problem, right? His woodlines are also very far away from his town centers. He's also only taking one. So both players kind of in the same boat in that regard. So Vinchester can similarly lose access to his woodlines if he does not defend himself. Archer going down there, and Hera is chasing down his infantry army, shooting the spearmen. There you go. His men-at-arms can go down as well. Hera's trying to bait this army to attack his scouts so that he can kill it with his archers, but now plans to go forward. Plans to go to this woodline, with Vinchester sending some archers, perhaps, to defend himself there. Another archer range going up for Vinchester, so he wants to make a lot more army. Hera, both Hera and Vinchester microing a little bit. Hera taking a hit on one archer there. Looks still better for Hera, but he has to run away from his infantry as well, and that's annoying. That's very annoying. A spearman goes down. Man-at-arm could go down, but Hera wants the archers. That's what he wants. The archers are shot. I mean, these little engagements, man. These little engagements matter so much for the continuing part of the game. Mongol economy seems insane. I mean, the early economy is really strong, but as soon as you get to Castlade, it's just generic economy. No bonus whatsoever. But Hera, after all of that pressure, is still going to click up and do a good time here. And he's going to go for a second archery range. And I wonder if he's going to drop a third. Oh yeah, you saw that game. Was that perhaps a Black Forest game that T90 casted? Because I did see that. Oh, you got to go, Dry Singer. Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Good luck at school too, man. Yeah, it was the Black Forest game. Yeah, he was bringing all those boars in Black Forest. Yeah, just NBL stuff. That's crazy. I love you too, man. Have a nice day, you. As Hera gets pushed back into his own base. Very nice. No, of course not. It's called platonic love, right? It's love for another person without it being sexual, and that's totally fine. No problem, man. Don't worry about it. If someone says that, if someone says it to you, just say it's platonic love, man. Anyway, well, yeah, I was going to say NBL because it's purple, but Vinchester making his way to again to this woodline, this critical woodline for Hera. He has expanded to the second one now, so this is much better, right? If you get pushed off of one woodline, you still have, you know, not all your eggs are in the same basket, right? That's how you would say it. As Hera has clicked up to the castle aids, how many archery ranges do we have? 1, 2, still 2. So probably crossbows then. I was wondering if he was going to go for cavalry archers or not. Which, again, I mean, the Sicilians, that is maybe the one option that they don't really have an answer to in Castle Age, right? Not easily so. Especially in Imperial Age, actually. It's Cavalier is their best option, but if you have heavy cavalry archer, that's actually a pretty good option against... a pretty good option against Sicilians, then. I mean, Hera, he's looking to do some damage, and of course sending his archers forward right as he hits Castlades. Vinchester is on his way. He's chasing this right now, but that will be crossbows in a second, and Hera is looking for the hill. He's gonna go right up there, and if Vinchester wants to fight here, he will have to micro against Hera. Hera now recognizing he could maybe go to this hill. He could maybe outrun this army a little bit. Hera microing still. Yeah, now you have Bodkin arrow. You have crossbow. 2 archers going down there for Hera, but he's still being annoying with his scout, forcing Vinchester to move more than normally. Hera still does not have ballistic, so it's not like he can just easily win this fight. And if there is a unit that can deal with crossbows in Feudal Age, it's archers. Right? That's about it. Like, scouts don't really do it. Men-at-arms definitely don't do it. But skirmishers really don't do the trick either. Archers could do it, though. And look at that. Look at the micro from both with the split micros. Vinchester trying to thin out the numbers. Gets 2 archers. Very good. Like I said, this army right here, he could have waited. He could have waited for Hera to do all the damage, but he just went aggressive and boom, Hera out of his military. Now, Hera probably wanted to get some more value, but Vinchester's defense was very solid there, and that was also micro, because you can't just engage. You can't just engage against the Castle Age military like that. Now, Hera probably recognizing my woodline is pretty shite. I'm going to drop a TC on the front. That will keep me safe from my opponent, and also secure this gold. Very nice. Vinchester might just do the same thing. Yep, he's gonna do the same thing. Just a second. Okay, he's playing. He wants to do the same thing. Let's just leave it at that. He wants to do the same thing. He can't do it right now because of the crossbows here, but he was going to do the same thing. He doesn't want to show Hera, though. See, these villagers, they were definitely going to drop a TC. No doubt about it. It's now Vinchester losing a bunch of military that he wanted to upgrade. And Vinchester says, GG! He says, GG! Wow, I mean, he was down 3 villagers. Army-wise, it wasn't looking too good. He probably would have had to abandon his wood line, and that's actually a problem, because guess what? Vinchester doesn't have a second wood line just yet. He wanted to TC up on this wood. You saw it, right? You saw he sent the villagers forward already, but that was arguably an early GG as far as I'm concerned. Like, I mean, we don't see what pro players see here, right? Like, I mean, like they do 4D chess, right? They like already planning ahead how the game is gonna go, and they probably know Hera's probably going to get a big lead, and Vinchester will know what Hera can do. I must say, like, after this fight right here, when he killed Hera's army and saved his gold, I thought, you know, Vinchester had a bit of time maybe to help himself, but I guess losing this army there, the fact that he would have had to abandon this wood line, I guess he thought he couldn't do it anymore. But I think Vinchester, you know, he showed that last game that even if he's under pressure, I think he could do it. So maybe it's also Sicilians, Mongols. I mean, you know, you expected cavalry archers to come out or something like that. Who knows? Who knows what the thought process was in the end? I mean, you know, we might not agree with a GG, but I mean, I am willing to trust Vinchester's judgment of his own abilities and his own, you know, trust that he can win a game. You know, I'm willing to trust in that. Yeah, GG, nice win there for Hera. Pretty clean as well with Mongols. And again, displaying how strong that early rush can be, because it definitely threw Vinchester off guard, and he wasn't able to do that much counter damage with his men-at-arms. So, yeah, that was really nice for Hera. So, yeah, I guess we'll quickly look at the statistics, but I should imagine we're probably going to go to a game 3 now, and it's looking good for Hera. You know, it's looking good for Hera, because even in the second game, he made it difficult for Vinchester. Vinchester did not get that win easily. You know, so Hera is always a tough opponent to deal with. KD much better for Hera, economy significantly better in the early game, that's for sure. Slightly more villagers, but of course these villagers were working most of the time, whereas with Vinchester, they had to walk around a little bit here and there. Yeah, APM spiking for Hera when he gets to play with crossbows. Funny. Anyways, let me update the score, actually. I didn't do that. Here we go. That's 2, and then this is a 1. There we go. Perfect. Well, let's see if the 4th game is available, which it's not, so Vinchester probably taking a short little break. So with that, let's go to the draft again. Let's see. We got a loss with Sicilians, a win with Mongols. I am pretty sure, right? I am pretty sure that Hera is going to go for an archer pick here. And Vinchester has got Vietnamese, which indeed is a potential counter, but mostly when you get with 10 archers out, right? That is kind of the condition as well. Just like Goths are technically a counter to Britons, and yet Britons keep winning games. It's because until Huscarls are out, Goths are absolute trash against Britons. They don't have a lot in the way of the fighting against that. Same with Vietnamese, but less so, right? Because they have good archers with more HP, so they actually have some options there. Are Aztecs better against archer civs? I mean, they have eagles, right? So this is definitely true. And luckily, there's no Malians in the mix for Hera, so you can't be up against Malian longswords. But Aztecs, of course, they don't have slingers, so then if they get countered with longswords, that's difficult for them to deal with. I mean, I like the YOLO potential that Aztecs have here, right? Like, if you want to go for a YOLO siege monk push, that's definitely possible with Aztecs. Whereas with Vietnamese, I don't think that's the right idea. Now, of course, Vinchester might have paid attention to what Slam and what Jordan were doing, and maybe he's like, oh, Vietnamese, let's go for a cavalry archer. Imperial skirms, yes, sir. Imperial skirms are a great counter to archers as well, but then, you know, you can definitely not underestimate those. 9 pierce armor, jeez, crazy. Well, we'll see, because we do have a 4th game, so let me get into that. And oops, that's the wrong window. There, that's where I need to be. Let's get into that game, and then we can find out. Let's see if Vinchester can come back in the series and maybe tie it up to a 2-2, or will Hera prove too strong and close out the game and get his spot in the final 8? You know, which was, again, the expected result, but Vinchester, he proved in the second game that Anything is possible here. Like a 100-second spec delay. Ah, damn it. Oh well. I guess we get to look at the draft for a second. For a second more then. As you can see. Well, so yeah, our prediction will be either Britons and Ethiopians for Hera. Although Hera maybe he wants to save these, maybe he wants to bait Vinchester into thinking he's going to go for archers and then just goes Burgundians anyways. Although, Burgundians against Aztecs and Vietnamese, I'm not sure if that's actually like the best matchup for Burgundians either. Especially Vietnamese, which have halberdiers, right? And especially on Byzantines, actually. Camels versus Burgundians? That's a tricky set. We haven't actually talked about Byzantines yet as being an option, Fast Imp Arbalest is always a great strategy with Byzantines as well. So that's definitely on the table. Although, yeah, I'm getting the feeling maybe that Vinchester is going to go for Aztecs here. That's the kind of aggressive YOLO Civ that Vinchester might, can work with big time, and maybe it gives him the option that if he wants to go for a YOLO siege push down the middle with monks and with eagles and with lots of siege, then that's maybe a possibility, right? Whereas with Vietnamese Byzantines, maybe not the best option. So we'll see what the players go for here. 10 seconds of spec delay. We're almost in the game, and then we go to game 4. And of course, not to worry. Of course, after this, we still have the first set that we're still going to cast. So if you did not get to see that earlier, you will be in luck because I'll be casting them after this. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a banger of a set. At least I know how many games it is, so I know it's going to be a good set. Anyways, welcome to the 4th game here between Hera and Vinchester. And Vinchester's gone for Byzantines. Ooh, see, I wondered if maybe Byzantines would be on the table. But Hera has picked Britons. I don't think anyone is surprised by this. I think it's good for him that he did not go for Burgundians, because Burgundians might favor Byzantines a little bit. Because Byzantines have the options, right? We have cheap pikemen, camels. Not really what Burgundians want to deal with. But now it's Britons, Byzantines, and Britons are one of the best civs in the game for a reason. It is so difficult to stop that ever-growing ball of archers that comes marching through the middle and destroys everything in its path. It is very difficult to deal with, as we have 6 villagers on sheep. See, the standard with Britons is 5, because they, of course, have a herdable bonus, so they take that food in much faster, so you don't need 6, you can have 5. But I guess Hera has a different build order in mind, which is fine. I don't know all these specific build orders, I only know the standard ones, so I can kind of recognize build orders here and there, but sometimes with pro players, you never know. They have some weird, wacky build orders in there, which are completely different than anything you've ever seen, and much more complex than those either. As we have Vinchester just pushing in some of his hunt, evidently wants some extra food out. Now again, I should imagine that it's probably going to be archers as well for Vinchester for the duration of this set. Because, you don't have bloodlines on your cavalry, so that's not really the best option, especially not against Britons. Because, Hera can always make some pikemen against you, and then they still have crossbows with 8 range. No thumb ring, but still, that's not... Britons have never needed that, so... this is going to be a difficult one for Vinchester. It's going to be a difficult one, and I think maybe he should have gone for Vietnamese or Aztecs, maybe. But I guess he was hoping maybe Hera goes for Burgundians, then Byzantines does well. Maybe he had more faith in Byzantines, having a very open tech tree. Let's not discount Byzantines just yet here. Byzantines are actually a pretty strong defensive civ, and if there's anything that pisses off Britain's players is an incessant spam of skirmishers, right? The cheap skirmishes that Byzantines can make, that never stops. So, Britain's, prime among all the other archer civs is likely to be frustrated by that, because what else are you going to do with Britons here? Now, the answer to that might be cavalry. We saw it today, actually. Tato were going cavalry with Britons and getting a win with that as well. Proving definitely that Britons do not have to be reduced to an archer civ only. But that doesn't mean that if you take away their archers that it's going to be easy for them. And I'm pretty sure that Hera still wants to go for archers here. Now, I'm expecting a drush from Hera. I say I expect that, but then there's only 2 villages on wood, so I don't think so. Because if you want a drush, you need to have 4 villages on wood in order to afford that. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Hera doing something wonky here. Not seen this build order yet with Britons. I am very curious. We should keep an eye out on what Hera's doing. As it comes to Vinchester, that looks more standard, 4 on wood. It's probably going to be men-at-arms into archers or just straight archers. He is walling up a little bit more, so that might be straight archers then. You know, if you wall up more, like you can do one of two things. Either you go aggressive, right, delay your opponent, and then you get your walls up after that in the time that you buy, or you just wall and go. You invite that pressure on you, but you have straight archers and you don't have to invest into military. And it's one of two options really. Hera clicking up at 6.5 minutes. Wow, that's really fast. That's a really fast uptime there. I guess this must have been some sort of fast Britain straight into Archer's build, because I don't think he can afford to go for men-at-arms now. I don't think that's possible. I think this is some sort of special Mongol-like build for Britons, where you make use of that fast herdable bonus, putting 6 villagers on the sheep, right, to get the food in really quickly, go up as fast as you can, and then go out for the archers. That's, yeah. He's not on gold, this is true. But I can't imagine he's going to go scouts. I think he's going to send villagers to gold really quickly here. Or is he maybe going to go for fast scouts? I mean, and he is not on gold, this is true. Let's keep our eye out on what Hera is doing. And if he's going to send villagers to gold, that should tell us enough. Vinchester, though, he's not going to be... Vinchester's not going to take any chances. He's going to wall up. Now, Hera sees the walls. That might stop him from... You know, if he was thinking scouts here, that might stop him from doing so. Because if you're going to make scouts now, where are the scouts going to go? Because this is walled. That is walled. This is walled. You have to run through the TC, which is awkward. So... Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the plan is here. I mean, it's 18 pop, right? That's pretty difficult. He's going to get his upgrades first. So he's investing his wood right now in the eco tax first. So Hera evidently just wants to get as much economy out as fast as possible, and maybe then just go straight archers as well. Then just with the more, you know, with the average feudal time, you know, this is normal, right? This is a normal feudal time, 21 pop, going straight into archers. Very nice. We'll see. He's still not on gold, so I guess Hera, for now, is just going to defend his base with some walls and then get the economy rolling. If you look at his base, though, like, we have gold forward, but if he walls around it, I guess that's safe. Woodlines are... Well, this woodline is safe-ish. This woodline is alright, I guess, but it's very far forward. This woodline would have been okay, but now you're walling like this, so then not so much. So that woodline is now not available to Hera anymore either. As for Vinchester, has a back gold, has back berries, so Vinchester is very happy, and he's going to go for a stable. Ooh. So it's not going to be... I mean, he didn't go to gold, so that makes sense then. Yeah, I guess it's not going to be archers after all for the Vinch here. It's going to go for a stable, something that Hera now scouts. So he will know, right, that scouts are about to come out and he's walling on the right side, keeping himself safe. But that village is exposed. Ooh, Vinchester. Yeah, Hera sees it as well. He's going to quick wall it in. There you go, because Vinchester would have totally sniped that for sure. And Vinchester's probably just going to run away now. Would have been a nice, it's a little opportunistic moment there for him, you know, a little bit of an impulse kill, but Hera still has to run away from this now, but has a spearman now to reinforce, and there you go. Scout cannot get any kills. Vinchester will want to try to keep that side open if he can, but I don't think he can right now, as Hera is getting up some big walls, and this is an interesting strategy. Fast feudal into walls. Very passive as well, but again, with Britons, right? You want to buy yourself as much space and time as you can to get your ball of archers rolling, right? Scouts coming forward, though, so the spearmen better stay around here, which is where Hera's right. Actually, the scout should better stay around here as well. I'm not sure how much Hera's going to wall, quick wall. Hera, this is the danger of walling. This is the danger of walling, because it can easily be punished. And what do I always say about walls? If there's a hole in it, it's like there's no wall at all. And Vinchester's like, that's cute. That's cute. Thank you for this free villager there. And there it goes. Very nice. Vinchester gets his first kill of this game, and also the first eco kill of the game. Now, Hera has walls on the right, so at least he's safe from that side. So it's not like the berries can be threatened. But now the right side of his base isn't very safe, and he wanted to get the walls up on this side. Probably he's gonna wall like that as well, just to keep the gold safe. There's a spearman, there's a scout protecting here. Vinchester wants to get the villager kill, but that's not gonna work. Not with the spearman right there. Very nice. Still not on gold. Okay, now he goes to gold. Oh, almost a trap. Almost a trap. That would have been really nice. Would have been really nice, but just a second too late. Very nice. Because then the scouts would have been stuck right there with the spearman on the other side. Really good stuff. One scout going down. This scout has been weakened somewhat. Vinchester, though, not making scouts. Not making scouts. No, Vinchester's just going to go add his own economy. He sees those walls from Hera. He knows, I'm not going to be able to keep those open forever with scouts. I mean, going full scouts wouldn't have been the worst things in this world, actually. I mean, look at this giant gaping hole in Hera's base. It's not like you can't send scouts in to still do damage. But, yeah. And Hera, it just... I mean, at this point, you're just taunting your opponent. You're literally going to the castle age, basically, right? Basically without making any military. I mean, the spearman, the odd spearman that Hera made is, you know, you can't count that. You can't count that whatsoever. So Hera, it's just like... This is how noobs want to play the game, right? This is how low elo legends want to play the game. Like, we just go up the castle age, we don't have to make any military whatsoever, and we're good, right? Yeah, in reality, you don't really get away with that. But Hera is getting away with it mostly because the Byzantine player here decided not to go aggressive anymore. Like, if Vinchester had continued to make scouts here, continued to flood him through that hole, then Hera couldn't do this, right? Hera could not do this. But now, as a result of it, he's fine. And there comes the archery range. Only up at minute 15. Now, the downside of doing this, right? The downside of doing this, it takes away one thing, which is the later feudal age time for most archer builds. If you go for archers, in most cases, you're going to be up between 18 and 20 minutes, right? Click up, I mean. Right? So that's a later feudal time. And now both Hera and Vinchester, with going scouts, this is actually doable, right? Both of them clicking up by minute 16. That's really fast. So that is the advantage, but the disadvantage here is that you have no archers on the field whatsoever right now. I'm not seeing Hera on stone either, so it's not like he wants to go for a castle for longbows, which would be awesome, by the way. Would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, no crossbow, no military on the field for either player, as Vinchester is already preparing the skirmishes. So I wonder what Hera's plan is here, because Vinchester is expecting archers. That is a pretty fair assumption to make, honestly. You're up against Britons, after all. Hera does know, he did see the archer rages. It's 2, but so that doesn't necessarily tell you skirmishers, but... As Vinchester loses his scout, very nice. But still, I'm still not sure what Hera's doing here. Is he going to go a fast imp here? Is that what we're doing? Look at that food count. Almost, man. Almost. That should not work, right? That should not work. That can't work, right? There's no way that works, right? Okay, now he's getting upgrades, getting a siege workshop. He's just going to defend himself. Now this is what you call greedy, by the way. This is what you call greedy. Like making no military whatsoever. Townsend's trying to go up on this side now, but that's a bit too late. There are the skirmishers, and yeah, Hera getting punished right now for not making any military. That siege workshop better go up so you can make a mangonel, because camels are about to come forward as well. Another town center on the left side that will keep his wood production safe. The town center up here would be nice, of course, to keep his right flank safe, but villager going down and Hera's losing more vills. I'm just a little bit confused what the plan is here. Is that just me, or are you guys would you guys be able to tell what this would be? Because I'm not really sure what the plan is for now. Like, we go fast feudal, then we go to Castle Age without making a single military unit, pretty much. And then in Castle Age, we still don't make any military. Like, what is the plan? Because if it was fast imp, that's not gonna work, right? That's not gonna work now. You're off for gold. That doesn't work. Okay, we have a town center now on this side, so I guess Hera's just gonna he's just gonna safeguard this gold right now. I wonder if Vinchester's gonna go aggressive because of this. You know, he sees that Hera's not making any military but siege. I wonder if Vinchester's like, okay, you know what? I'll add a town center to boom a little bit. I'm sending a villager forward for a siege workshop. I'm just gonna start pressuring your TCs. I wonder if that's what his reaction is, because I could see that work. It is really greedy, right? It is really greedy what Hera is doing right now. And I mean, again, how I always explain greed, it is doing something, right? It is basically skimping on investments that you really should be making. And I'm saying should be because normally you should not be able to get away with it, right? You should not be able to get away with that as Britain nice, yeah. I mean, again, Britain nice, but against camels though, not the best, not the best unit. I think Tato at least he wasn't up against a camel sieve, so that definitely helped him there. But yeah, Britons don't have that luxury now. Yeah, greedy is not doing something that you normally couldn't get away with, or doing something you normally couldn't get away with. So normally you should not be able to get away with not making military whatsoever, right? Like you should be punished for that. That's why I would call it greedy. Not like not making a minimum amount of military. That's fine. That's what pros have perfected over the last few years. You know, making a few bits of military here and there to do enough amounts of damage with, you know, and that's that. But this is not that. This is not that. This is greedy. This is really greedy. And I'm still confused by what the end game is here, because now we're defending ourselves with scorpions, and yeah, Vinchester exactly brings forward a few villagers. It says, okay, well, if you're not going to defend yourself, we're going to attack. We're going to attack. We'll make some crossbows. We'll make some military. We'll make some mangonels to kill your scorpions. And then Hera, in the end, it's 49 to 55 villagers. Yes, he has a vill lead, but remember what Byzantines can do. Remember what they can do. Exactly. Fast Imperial Age Arbalest. I'm not sure if that was what Hera was planning to do, but he's about to be attacked by an Imperial Age army. And even a few Imperial Age units could definitely wreck Hera's base. I'm telling you, you cannot underestimate Byzantines like that. They will always, there's always the possibility of them going fast to the Imperial Age. And once they do that, you better be ready for it, because, well, I mean, see, there's a good reason, by the way, why people, as Hera paused, there's a good reason why people wouldn't play like this, right? Because if you don't make military yourself, you can't do damage to your opponent. So even if you don't take any damage from your opponent whatsoever, neither does your opponent. So in the end, you don't really gain that much from being passive. Unless your opponent overinvests, of course. Guess Britain archers and castles without a castle isn't really anything special. One range but no thumb ring. Yeah, that, and also the archer ranges produce faster, so you usually have more archers on the field than your opponent. That is what makes Britain strong. But yeah, without Yeoman, which is a really expensive upgrade, yeah, the archers are, they have basically one range and you can make more of them. But of course, Byzantines with their cheaper skirmishers can easily counter that one. So I wonder if Hera decided to do this because he just figured, right, that it's just going to be something like this, skirmishers against him. Well, in the end, it's 54 to 69 nice villages here for Hera. I mean, Hera is ahead in the vill count for sure, but that might change pretty quickly here if Vinchester comes forward with a few arbalests and some trebuchets to trap all of this down. And normally, right, this happens later in the castle age, when your opponent and you have already traded some blows and you have both expanded your economy a little bit, and you can actually buy your way up to imp to chase down the Byzantine player. But now, you can't do that. Hera doesn't have the resources to get the imp right now. There's no way. Absolutely no way. He's not going to catch up with this, so he's going to have to survive until he can click up the imp himself. Right? He's going to have to survive here, which is, well, let's see what he does. Boom, Imperial Age for Vinchester. Let's see what Hera does. He's making knights right now. Oh, Hera. I mean, I know Hera likes to play defensive and invite a lot of pressure on him, but this is like pushing it to the max. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Hera wants a castle right now. He wants a castle right now. Remember what I say? The amount of villagers that you put on stone tells you how desperate you are for a castle. That's 30 villagers on stone right now. That is almost half his economy. Yeah, this is not looking too good for Hera. I mean, again, I'm not... Maybe he can't survive, but I'm pretty sure, knowing Vinchester, he's just going to be able to close this out easy. Getting some arbalest on the field to start pushing in. Either you get one siege ram out or something like that. You better get a bombard cannon out. Yeah, chemistry coming in already. Well, Bracer is in, but no arbalest just yet. So chemistry first, and if you get that upgrade, which takes a while, you can have some bombard cannons out, snipe Hera's mangonels, snipe his buildings, and kabam. Let's see if he's making a bombard cannon. It's an expensive unit after all. Ballistics first, I guess. Yep, there you go. Bombard cannon. Told you. Hera's selling some stone right now. For what? I don't know. And that's just the irony, right? The player that didn't invest anything anything in military, really, like really minimal amounts of investment, I'm talking about a few siege units here and there, is still behind his opponent. You know, you're ahead in villages, but see, this is the kind of situation that the all-in player wants to be in, and for the record, Vinchester is not all in. He's not all in, he's just up the Imperial is faster with less military, with less villagers and also less town centers. This is the position you want to be in. You know, you have fewer villages, but you have way better military. Way better military and no way for your opponent to get into the next stage. And now you're up with British Knights against Arbalest. With Bracer. Arbalest. It's, yeah, I know Vinchester also sees the Knights as well, so he knows exactly what's coming his way. And he's like, let's fight that. I want to fight this. You wanted to fight me, right? Look, come fight me. Come fight me. Oh, snipe the Mangonel. 1 for 1. Almost 1 for 1. Knights now engaging against the Arbalest. But at the same time, 1 for 1 over here. Knights could maybe snipe the Bombard Cannon. Vinchester's kind of toying with Hera right now. Hera will probably get that Bombard Cannon. That's an expensive unit to lose. So yeah, that's nice for Hera. But yeah, Hera probably recognizes as well, this is impossible. And yeah, a win there for Vinchester, and tying up the series there, we have Hera v Vinchester, and I would be really curious to hear him explain what his thinking was this game, right? I'm pretty sure if we hear talk about it, he probably has a pretty good reason about it. Like, for example, that if I am Britons, then I'm basically archers against elite skirmishers from the Byzantine player who's just going to spam at me, you know. But then I would say, okay, then add a knight, right? But then he'll make camels. Okay, add a monk, right? Like, or add siege, something, right? Anything but this. And I mean, it was a unique strategy. I can't believe how much he got away with, actually. Like, let's just say this only worked because Vinchester also decided to go, quote-unquote, greedy in feudal age, right? He didn't make more scouts to punish this. So Vinchester just wanted to be up himself as well. That's why this worked. But then in Castle Age, not to make any military. Like, I figured we just want to get up to Castle Age as fast as we can. Not fast castle, but as fast as we can with enough military economy. And then we go crossbow, right? And we make some siege to kill the knights. Something, right? 7-10 strategy. Yeah, well, actually, I would say you'd rate that even less as a strategy because it wasn't a winning strategy, right? Hey, and I always say any strategy, if it doesn't work, looks bad. Like, that's just the way it is, right? It's a zero-sum game. Either it works or it doesn't. Not an Age of Empire. It is a meme. Yeah, I know. It was for Viper, man. I don't know who voted for that, but I wasn't in that discussion, so I don't have to defend that or anything like that. We can just laugh at that. I think that's hilarious. 7 out of 10 strategy. Oh god, best player in the world, and then 7 out of 10 strategy. That's really funny though when we saw that. I was in the chat when that happened. Anyways. But yeah, I mean, this strategy it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. I'm not sure what the reasoning was for Hera, but Vinchester, yeah, went for it with aggression and just went fast to imp. I mean, exactly. That's exactly what you do with Byzantines. If you have the resource, just go imp. Why not? Go up to imp. And now we are in a game 5, the second one of the day, actually, because the first set, oh, crap, now I'm spoiling stuff. Whoops. I didn't say anything. It's the first best of 5 of the game. You know nothing. Anyways, better KD there for Hera, but only slightly, right? And he was defending, which, yeah. But still, in the end, better KD doesn't mean that you win the game. And in the end, even though Hera had the better economy than Vinchester, Vinchester had an army that could kill all of that easily. Yeah, we had slightly better economy for Vinchester. Only a little bit, though. Really good uptimes, though. 18-minute uptime, that's really good. Normally you click up by that time, but they were up to Castellated at 18 minutes. That's really good. That's not possible if you make a lot of military. That doesn't work. If it gets really aggressive, like MBL, MBL Sato, then you don't get stuff like that, obviously. Anyways, well, let's go to a game 5 then, huh? Well, I was kind of expecting Hera to close out the set at this game, but once I saw how he was playing this, I was kind of growing a little worried there. I was kind of like, that might not go well. That might not go well. I'm not sure if that's gonna work out here. Now, I mean, again, I don't want to discourage anyone from trying like wacky stuff, right? You know, I love it when players think out of the box. You know, like coming up with a new strategy that no one has ever thought about. That's what makes this game beautiful. But of course, that does mean that you're gonna come up with some stinkers as well. You know, strategies that might work in some cases, that might work in training, but then when you try to apply them in real life, in tournament stages, it might not come out as pretty as you were hoping for. That's life. That happens. You know, that's nothing to be ashamed about. It's the fact of trying, you know, that makes it worth it. The only problem is now it's 2-2, so Hera still has to fight for his tournament life here in the next set. So he's probably taking a little break now. At least knowing Hera, he probably gets up and walks around for a second. That's what he usually does. So again, it's a loss. Wow, look at this. This is really funny. This is really funny. Look at this. We have Hera winning with 2. Not really his standard civs, right? Like, this is not, Mongols aren't technically a foot archer civ, and neither are Incas, right? But then he's losing with the civs where we thought he was definitely gonna win with. That's yeah, that's kind of funny. Now the Chinese one was, I mean, that was because Vinchester played it really well. Britons though, I mean, like, what makes them so scary is that freaking archer mass, right? That just keeps growing and growing, and you can't seem to stop it. And you have, like, with Britons, it's always a race to see who, like, can I kill that mass of archers before, you know, before they get to my base and kill me. You know, that's always the question with Britain. But yeah. Of course, that is not really a problem when your opponent doesn't make any archers, right? And Harry, yeah, he didn't make a single archer, did he? I don't think he did. I don't think he made a single archer that entire set. Now, come to think of it. Well, he's taking Tato's idea, like, we'll go knights with Britons, right? He's taking it to its logical conclusion. Not a single archer with Britons. Now I wonder. Right, so we have Aztecs and Vietnamese here for Vinchester. It is very simple for either of those civs to make a lot of pikemen to make short work of Burgundians. I expect Ethiopians from Hera. But then in that case, both Aztecs and Vietnamese should be able to do damage here to Ethiopians. So this is going to be a difficult set, no matter what Hera picks here. Burgundians against Aztecs, you know, Pikeman City, right? You know, it's not the best either. Burgundians have a really good economy though, so there's that. Not so much Ethiopians, of course. Ethiopian has to have the little bit of boost. That is not a sentence. Ethiopians receive a small minor boost every age. You know, you get 100 gold, 100 food, which is nice if you want to go man at arms or things like that, or maybe allow you to make a few villagers if you've had a particularly rough dark age or things like that. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it now. We'll see. Let's see if there's someone in chat who is talking about it. No ETA questions. That's okay though. We're just expecting. We're expecting a small break, right? I mean, it's a big moment for both players, right? It's a big moment for both players because either of them could be out of the tournament now, and it's yeah, it's going to be a big game for either side. And again, no matter what civs they pick, and also no matter who wins this, it's going to be a heartbreaker because I don't want to see either of them go. You know, even if personally I have, of course, my own preference as well, because I can't eliminate it altogether, but as a caster, I will be as unbiased as I can. Like I always say, I'm not partial to any player, partial to good play. I will make that a emote or something like that, because I do end up saying that a lot. Soon, when I have more emotes. Anyways, we're just waiting. Oh, game 5! Ooh, game 5! Hype! Last game, of course, live game of the day. Let's go! Hang on, bear with me for a second. Let's get into the game because we don't want to fall too far behind the hype train here. And there we go, perfect. Who's gonna win? I'm kind of nervous about this now. Could be either. Oh, 80 seconds of spec delay. Damn it! Damn it! You're playing with my emotions here. Boo. In any case. Well, how are you doing? How's the weather where you are? I'm just kidding, obviously, but I mean, like that's always how I feel. How it feels a little bit awkward sometimes when there's these kind of like dead moments in a tournament when there's nothing happening and there's nothing to look at, and then I have to basically talk and entertain. And sometimes, it's like you don't really know what you're supposed to say. It's snowing a lot where you are, really. Well, I'm in Florida, so it doesn't really snow here. I've only seen snow once here. That was the first time in 19 years that it has snowed here, apparently. So, yeah. Well, I mean, if you have, it's very nice, I suppose, to sit inside, when it's nice and warm and it's snowing outside. God, I miss that a lot, though. Like, it being really cold outside and snowy, and you sit inside around a fire or something like that, and, around Christmas, I love the atmosphere. Even if you don't celebrate that feast, that's okay. It's still, it's like a really nice atmosphere. It's all dark and yeah, cozy. Right, that's the right word. That's the right word indeed. Looking forward to that again too. All right, well, we small talked our way through that 80 seconds. Yay! Pat yourself on the shoulders. Good stuff. We're getting there. Anyways, the game should be starting any second now. There we go. Awesome stuff. Let's bring you in as well. And oh boy, yep, this was the matchup that we all feared and thought was gonna happen. In the blue, we have Ethiopians for Hera. Very nice. And then in the purple, we have Vinchester going for Vietnamese. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, we were wondering about this in chat. We were wondering about that. Vietnamese as a potential counter pick to the Archer Civs that Hera had in his draft. What do we think? What do we think? I mean, Vietnamese, again, their strongest option, right? Their strongest option is the Rattan Archer in this case, because the Rattan Archer has extra pierce armor, becomes therefore an anti-archer archer, as I like to call it. So it's basically a counter to Archer Civs. But you do have to get there, as we have Vietnamese hype in chat. Yeah, nice. I mean, you do have to get to the Rattan Archer in order to unlock that full potential. Before that, though, you have Imperial Skirmishes and Imperial Age, which also do quite well with deal also quite well with other archers. If you don't get to Rattan Archers, you have some options there. But we cannot discount Ethiopians because these archers are scary. When it comes to a head-to-head matchup between Ethiopian and Vietnamese archers, then Ethiopian archers have to be preferred because they fire faster. Much faster. Very scary. They're like machine gun crossbows. Pretty much. Yeah, let's have a look at the players' bases here. And ooh, this actually favors archer players. Look at that. Trash Arbalest. Well, I mean, it's fine, right? It's fine. They get all the upgrades, right? They're not very good cavalry, though. But yeah, look at the woodlines, right? This favors the archer player because this is very wallable. Very lucky that for both players, I guess, that they both get a very wallable map here. You can wall this up easily. You got gold spots. Gold 4 for Hera, though. That's kind of, Imperial Skirm. Well, I mean, that's... I guess Arbalest versus Imperial Skirm, that does favor the Imperial Skirm, this is true. What was I saying? Oh yeah, right. Forward gold there for Hera, so that's of course a tricky spot to defend, and all his golds are forward actually in that regard. Like this gold is out there, this gold out there. Wouldn't surprise me to see a TC right there at some point, or maybe over here to defend this gold a little bit. Maybe some walling in front of this gold is necessary. Maybe a TC up over here to kind of block this side. That's why I would place my TCs. For the rest, you can wall this quite easily, I think. Berries in the back, very nice. As for the Vinchester, we have a very open front of his base. Look at that. That's very open. All the woodlines are kind of in the back, even though they're close to the TC. So that's not as wallable as Hera's base. You'll have to wall a lot more. And indeed, Vinchester agrees here. Agrees that he needs a little bit more time. So he is building a barracks before a mill. And we all know what that means. That means a pre-mill drush. Now, we have a forward berries for Vinchester. So again, this is... If it comes to when we look at the base layout for both players, I would favor Hera's base big time. It's easier to wall. Your main goal is safe first behind a woodline, and your berries are safe. So that's kind of nice. As for Hera's scouting, okay, he knows where Vinchester is, but he hasn't seen yet what Vinchester is gonna go for. Let's see if he does complete his scouting run here. We might see it. He might see it if he keeps going. Go on, Hera. Does he see it? Does he see it? Okay, he sees it. This is so important. This is so important because now Hera knows. He knows now that a Drush is coming in. He even sees there's no mill yet, so there can be no doubt about it. He saw the flags disappear as well. So Hera is very much aware what's happening, and Hera, as a result, he is making his own pre-mill Drush. Wow, okay, he's just going to counter with the exact same thing. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that that was already the plan because there's no way to get all of this set up before he saw it. So at least it's going to be an exact tie now between the two players. But Vinchester has the initiative, right? He is going forward, so he has more potential to do damage, whereas Hera does not have that. Yeah, both players, of course. And let's see, Vinchester actually adding a third one as well. Hera only on one is trying to wall out this pressure, but yo, that's not going to happen. He's going to have to defend with his own skirmishes now. So a bit of idle time for Hera here already. He's bringing back his own scout. He was looking for this army, but he couldn't find it. Vinchester does not want to get trapped in the wood line. Also wants to wait until that third militia comes here so he can get the advantage. So Hera will have to bring in a villager maybe to fight and join the fight there. Now both players will have to make some farms probably to get themselves up to the next stage. Because again, you can't push in your deer now, right? You don't have the time for that. Like Hera also walled out his hunt, so he can't do that anyways. So we have some walls now for Vinchester, and Vinchester's food count looks a lot healthier. Because remember, he has had all the time in the world to push in those deers and things like that. I think he pushed... No, actually he didn't push in any as well. So his food count just looks better then, I guess. Again, remember also Hera, more idle time, especially on the berries, which is a big deal. And Hera is at 30 food right now. Oh, villager going down as well to a Drush. Hera on the back foot already. Has made another militia then to counter. Is also fighting, or at least he was fighting with villagers. But of course that villager paid for that with his life. And Vinchester gets a kill more. 1 for 1. Hera kills the weak one first. And now it's 1-1. The scout for Vinchester goes down. So at least that is the end of the attack. But if you look at Hera's economy, it is Dark Age farms right now. He is not going to be able to click up here. What happened there? Did he get lamed or something? Or what happened? I mean, just doesn't have enough food. And this is what I would call limbo. Right? It is when you invest so much food in the Dark Age that you basically run out of all the easy food sources in Dark Age. I'm talking about your sheep, I'm talking about your boars, right? And once you run out of that food, you have to go for farms to get your food count up. And that is limbo. Because basically you have to still make villagers, so that is still 50 food, very difficult. Right? But you also want to be able to click up in the stack. And you should have to keep adding farms and farms. And these are Dark Age farms. More wood invested in these farms as well. Hera probably has to wall big time now. You have to wall big time. Has to wall around the gold because Vinchester is going to be able to come forward with some archers in the second there. And Vinchester's looking fine. Fine, just fine. It's some villagers behind, yes, but he's in feudal age. And only with 2 farms, right? I mean, Hera's expended so much wood right now in all these farms. He will eventually click up here, yes. I mean, he has, He has 11 farms already, but that was not ideal. That was not ideal, I'm telling you. This was not Hera's plan. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not actually sure if he got lamed or not, but he did not track the Drush even after seeing them leave the barracks. Yeah, he tracked them for a while, but then he kind of lost track, literally, lost track of them over here. And then the Drush did get in and delay him. But I mean, it can't just have been that, because he was like 300 food behind. It's almost like Vinchester did lame him. And if he did, how the hell did we miss that? And I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case. I'm pretty sure Hera had 2 rhinos under his DC at one point. Like, that can't be it. But he must have been down some food. He clicks up now, but at 12 minutes, that is a really late time for to go up to feudal age. So definitely not an advantage for Hera right now. Vinchester is looking fine. He's gonna be able to get some archers out. Imagine if Hera had been up in the castle in the feudal age right now, like he could go right forward here, pressure this forward gold for Vinchester that has not been walled off a lot. Hera would be loving life. This is exactly the kind of spot that he would want to hit with his archers, but he doesn't have archers right now. He can't afford them. Now I wonder if you're gonna make this many farms and you're gonna have your food count go up that way, you're gonna risk fast castle. I don't think you should do that. I mean, he is walling a lot right now, so. Which these walls will have more HP in a second, because Dark Age walls are not very good. Nor are the houses. And you really need to be up in a few late. So in 20 seconds, Hera will be a lot safer. But I wonder, look at that food count. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna freaking do it here? I wonder, because, I mean, he invested in a whole lot of... He's gonna do it. He's gonna go fast castle. He's gonna freaking do it. I have not seen anyone do a fast castle on King of the Desert 4 the entire tournament. I'm not sure if anyone did it, but I've not seen a single person do it. That's so risky because Vinchester is streaming forward the archers, but the walls are up. Walls still have 250 HP, 5 pierce armor. These archers don't do a whole lot of damage. Hera has the food and the gold to click up here. He gets extra food as Ethiopians for going up. That definitely helps you a lot as well. Only needs that second building right now, and he can click up, and there he goes. Bam! Blacksmith is up, and Hera is going to get to the castle age. And technically, this still qualifies as a fast castle because it is at 18 minutes. So what looks pretty suspect here for Hera, if he can survive for 2 minutes, he will have crossbows, whereas Vinchester will have to scramble to get up to the next stage. And look at that, Vinchester knows. He knows that he's going to get crossbows at him in a second. He's towering up his goal already because that's not going to go well for him if he doesn't have defenses there, because otherwise he'll have to defend himself. And that didn't go well in the first game either. Or the third game, I mean. Yeah, looking good for Hera now. Now, the fact that Vinchester's not going to be able to break through these walls, he can't really deny any of these wood lines because they ended up being pretty safe for Hera. And Hera will be up to the next stage. She's going to make some archers now, can drop another archer range. There you go, just as I say it. Wow, the timing of some things, man. I love that. It's like, I have not seen these games. These are live. But I love it when things happen just as I say it. I mean, that's just coincidence, really. But also because, you know, it's a logical thing to do. You want to have another archery range. Pro caster. Yes. Thank you. As we have Hera and Vinchester kind of sparring in the back of Hera's base. I mean, but I think both players, you know, trying to get up to the next stage are just... This might be a little bit to divert their attention a little bit. Well... But Vinchester has not clicked up yet, and yeah, this is the thing with an archer build. Remember, it always you always have a later castle time because you first, right, go to gold. You first go to wood. You first need to invest into, into archery ranges, as Vinchester has even stonewalled up parts of his walls, making sure there's no holes in his walls. Very good, Vinchester. Very good. This is good stuff. You know, double walling all of these places just to keep yourself as safe as you can, not to take any risk whatsoever, because Hera is in the castle age. He's going to go for fast university as well, so he can get ballistics on his crossbows, and this is dangerous for Vinchester in the next 3 minutes. And it's almost... You know, it sucks, right, that Hera could get away with that. I'm not actually sure anymore whether this was the plan all along or not, if he really wants to go Drush Fast Castle. You know, pre-mill Drush Fast Castle is kind of tricky, right? That's really difficult for your economy. But in the end, it ended up working out really nicely here for Hera. And if he gets just get some crossbows out, then he's going to be loving life. Yeah. Ballistics coming in, and Vinchester clicks up now, but has to survive now for 2.5 minutes. He does have some archers in his archery range, so it's not like he has no army, but he wants to be able to upgrade that. You know, so he needs to keep that alive for now. That tower will at least keep the crossbows away from the gold mine. There's also... Ooh, do you see that? Vinchester wants rattan archers. Yes! There you go. He wants to get a castle up that will immediately also force Hera to... Well, deal with the castle, right? That like, as soon as a castle goes up somewhere, most games go to Imp, because it's really difficult to push a castle in Castle Age. Like, it has to be a really special occasion, right, where you ram push it in order to deal with that. Otherwise, it's almost impossible. As Hera now sees the tower, now recognizes, okay, I can't do any early damage here now on the gold, so I will have to run away and find another way in. But is there another way in? Not really, because these house walls, though lacking melee armor, still have 8 pierce armor, so nothing changed in that regard. On the left side, yeah, Vinchester has really doubled down on the securing his base. Like, this is good, right? Finding all the holes, making absolutely sure that Hera cannot get in anywhere. This is really good. You know, because this is what you need to do if you're behind like that. Because if he can survive there, in the end, Vinchester has, you know, seems to have more villagers as well. Because Vinchester did get that eco kill earlier. A little bit more idle time from Hera as well. So yeah, in the end, Vinchester will end up with a slight eco lead as well. Bring on the rats. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're coming out, all right. They're coming out. Oh, 100 more stone, and we're right there. Now, this does mean that Vinchester's not planning on booming it a lot if he doesn't build town centers first, which is not what he's doing right now. So that means that he won't be able to get his villager count up very high. But then again, neither is Hera, because Hera is also just making crossbows. Vinchester's still defending the central hill. I bet the castle will go up somewhere over here. Maybe even on the hill as well, although this would be a nice spot for it right there. Okay, almost enough stone. The 10 archers almost coming out. As Vinchester has enough crossbows to defend himself, and the fast castle crossbows hasn't really done too much for Hera just now. I mean, it has definitely stopped him from being attacked at his own base. He's thinking about siege pushing forward now, but there's a siege workshop already for Vinchester if it goes up. And we have stone. So at any point Vinchester wants, he can drop a castle anywhere here and immediately stops a siege push and castle age. Immediately. Immediately stops it. Now, it is ballistics for Hera, so he can get more kills now on Vinchester's crossbows. Mangonel coming out now for Vinchester as well to push these crossbows away, but a Mangonel coming forward for Hera to counter that. And Vinchester needs to be careful here. Careful, Vinchester. Kapow! Vinchester very lucky he was uphill there. Very lucky. And, oh, another shot there. I mean, again, Vinchester doesn't really care about these crossbows because that is not the unit he's going to go for. As he's sending these villagers to gold now. I wonder if these villagers are about to build a castle as soon as he gets a bit of map control. He's just waiting for a good engagement here. If he can kill Hera's army right now, he gets the map control to maybe drop a castle here even further forward if he wanted to. Yeah, Hera's not going to sit still here. He wants to break into Vinchester's base as well. It is 46 versus 47 villages. And man, I am so nervous right now. Is anyone else nervous? It might just be me then. Oh, Hera gets shot by the Mangonel there for Vinchester. Nice kill there for the Mangonel. Yeah, of course, he's threatening Vinchester's Mangonel himself now. Both have crossbow armies that you don't want to lose. Nice dodge there for Hera. Same thing with Vinchester, but of course that wasn't that close. This time around, and Hera backing up a little bit, and that is what Vinchester was waiting for, to be able to get this castle up, not on top of the gold to clutter this space. No, he wanted this castle up. Woodline protecting the gold, nice hill to control, and also a hill that Hera can't take now anymore. Like otherwise it was hill v hill, and now you have to come from the low ground down here, which is much better. Ooh, Hera dodging a shot, almost gets the Mangonel shot. Vinchester shoots and misses. Hera, ooh, gets a little bit of kills, gets a few kills there on the crossbows, or at least a bit of damage done. Hera shooting now on the Mangonel, kabam, nice shot, but nice attack ground, I mean, but of course that didn't land. Ay. As Vinchester is, oh boy, he's gonna go fast imp again, isn't he? Look at that, he's trying to get up the imp. Oh god, Vinchester's gonna do that. Imp for 10 archers, man. That's what Slam did that other game against Backed, and that did not go well for Backed. This Hera confidently microing underneath it, loses his Mangonel though. Still 2 Mangonels to deal with. The castle now up, and Hera sees that, gets a shot in, misses with the shot, unfortunately. Even trades right there, but Imperial Age now for Vinchester. I hope that Hera saw that. But even if he saw that, what is he going to do about it? He just added a second and a third downstand. He's just getting his Vil count up. And now we're getting to a similar situation as the last game. Similar. I mean, not exactly the same, right? Because it's a nice shot there for Vinchester. Not exactly the same because, I mean, this time around Hera does have military on the field. More so than Vinchester. But Vinchester's making with 10 archers. 5 pierce armor already, and that's just gonna get better and better for a total of 8 pierce armor, I think. Arbalest do absolutely nothing. Yeah, so, yeah, Hera making the right decision here to already invest into skirmishers. He's gonna need something else here to deal with this. Because skirmishers, again, are nice against... They do okay against rattan archers. At least you're trading a cheap unit, but they're not really a pushing unit, right? Oh, God! Giant shot on Hera's crossbows. Oh, God. Loses his Mangonel as well at the same time. Oh, if it couldn't get worse. I mean, Hera still has an equal lead, 66 to 52, but what do we do against the rattan archers? What do we do here? Hera's gonna have to pull out all the stops. And Vinchester is about to hit Imp, and Hera can't do anything against it. He can't do anything against it right now. It's just... Yeah. Like, he can't... He's not pressuring for it right now. He's not punishing Vinchester for going to Imp or something. You know, Vinchester's still, you know, keeping Hera at his own base. And this is everything that Vinchester ever wanted. And Hera I'm not sure if he's expecting the imp right now, but even if he sees imp in 10 seconds and 20 seconds, he doesn't have the resources, right, to deal with this. And just selling some stuff for gold because he wants to get elite upgrades, he wants to get art, he wants to get bracer, chemistry, and all that sort of stuff. And now it's Imperial 8, and let's see what Hera does here. Because I'm not sure. I bet as a Mangonel goes down here, gets a kill on a villager, very nice. I bet if you look at Hera's face when he's playing this right now, his face is probably like, oh shite. Not good. Not good indeed. Not good indeed, as we have elite skirmisher coming in as well for Vinchester. So even if Hera wanted to make archers now, Vietnamese have all the options to counter this. Like, there's just no way that Hera can ever make crossbows anymore. There's no way. He will have to survive with elite skirms, but that is what the siege is for. Mangonel's going forward, and Hera is desperately trying to save his army there. He does not want to get squashed, because that would be a big GG moment right there. Rattans also finding their way into the wood line here. The skirmishers. Yeah, look how little damage they do. Look how little damage they do against these Rattan archers. Oh, Hera. Oh, Hera does not have the eco to go up the imp here. Trebuchet is coming out for Vinchester again, using the fast imp potential. And it just makes me think back in the board game, and Hera calls the GG, and Hera is out of King of the Desert 4. What an upset. Oh my god. What a play from Vinchester though. You know, keeping himself safe, getting a castle up, keeping Vietnamese in the back of his pocket just for this reason, and then just pushing forward a fast imp, and there's nothing that Hera could do about it. Oh my god. Hera must be devastated. You know, he came in here as the favorite, but Vinchester showed up to play, and Vinchester makes his way past Hera and goes to the final 8. And with that, we have two players that I did not expect to see in the final 8. I'm talking about Citeaux and Vinchester, and they freaking made it, and they deserved it too. And what a disastrous day for Aftermath. They lost 3 of their 4 players. It's just Leary now. That's it. My god. And yeah, Ethiopians, they just don't really have the options against this. Like, I noticed that the other day when I was playing Ethiopians against Koreans. Once the Korean player gets war wagons out, yeah, what do? I tried Shotel warriors. That worked until a certain degree. But, Christ. I mean, again, Rattan archers, technically, if you go mass skirmishers against it, that is probably your best option here. But not when there's this much siege around. Weak versus skirmishers, tech tree lying. Well, I mean, they still take bonus damage from skirmishers, this is true. But that bonus damage, right, that's 4. 4 bonus damage, they negate all the other damage, so they take 4 damage from skirmishers. And they have 40 HP on them as well. Like, that's 10 shots, that's quite a lot. And in the meantime, you do 10 damage, you can easily kill these skirmishers yourself. You do actually 5 damage. Wow, what a... I mean, I have to think back to the 4th set and what Hera was trying to do there with Britons. And I just think that just did not work. It just didn't work. And you know, honestly, I would be more scared of being up against Vietnamese with an Archer Civ rather than being up against Byzantines with an Archer Civ. Because at least skirmishers, you can make siege, you can make cavalry, you can deal with that. Rattan archers, though, are like crossbows and skirmishers combined. It's literally the perfect archer unit, really. The only thing that sucks about it is that it has to come out of a castle. That's it. That's literally it. The rest, it's fine. You know, it dies to siege, yes, but still. Not when it has bracer, and not when there is your own siege around. You have your own siege around, and my god. This was a pretty big upset, and I'm very sad to see Hera go. And I hope he doesn't beat himself up too much over it, you know, because, I mean, we still consider Hera to be a top 5 player, one of the best players in the world. But, I mean, I guess he will now know how it feels to, you know, like, just like Viper, you know, like when you're that high up the ladder and everyone says you're the best player, and then losing a set like this can be really devastating. And you have to, as a pro player, you have to pull yourself together, you know, keep your morale high and go up, you know, and go up to the next tournament with your head held up high, and go and perform well again in the next tournament, because you know you can do it. So I would definitely tell Hera the same thing I've been telling all the pro players that have been knocked out of the tournament today. You are still way better than most players on the planet, and even in this tournament, I think if top tier Hera gets to play, you know, he could easily make it to the top 4. Yeah, the enemies are pretty OP when you're in this situation and trying to counter with skirms against the one Sith that gets Imperial Age skirm. Yet exactly, like, I mean, it's not like, I mean, Vinchester always had that in the back pocket. If he wanted to make Imp skirms, then you can go for that. And Imperial Age skirms definitely beat normal skirmishers. It's much better. Wow, I know that Hera is heartbroken over this, you know, but he played really well on the first and the third game, you know, looked so clean, top tier Hera, but Vinchester, I told you that Vinchester can never be underestimated, because this dude, he weasels his way into the top ranks of a tournament all the time. He did it in Red Bull Wololo 4 as well, you know, like, he gets up there. You know, like, if you do not expect a Da Vinci, he will definitely dazzle you with aggression and you know, out of the box plays. Although I must say, this wasn't actually that out of the box. If anything, it was Hera was thinking out of the box here, especially in the 4th game. Wow. Yeah, the power of a fast imp and an archer Sith can never be underestimated. I mean, Leary will tell you. That's what Leary loves doing. Going fast imp with Saracens, Arbalest, and then destroying your base with siege archers. Beauty. That's what beauty looks like in the flesh. Yeah, much better KD there for Vinchester. And again, I mean, I understand Hera did not have the good options here, right? Like, the best thing the best thing that Ethiopians have against this is siege. That's their best option. Torsion engine bombard cannons do well against this. They will definitely destroy Rattan archers. They will definitely destroy Imperial Age skirmishers. But that is a very expensive upgrade. It is very expensive to go to Imp, and by the time you get to that, you might have been overrun already. So I think that is pretty much your best shot if you can get to bombard cannons with Torsion engine. You know, it's safe from a range, not as risky as siege onager. But you get, you know, you can kill a lot of units that way. That might have worked, but it was still a long shot, right? Again, literally. Yeah, Vinchester just with the same amount of economy as Hera, still deciding to go up faster. And Hera was adding economy, which is what he usually does, but it doesn't work against the fast imp play, because if you don't have the rest to go up to imp yourself and counter that, then you're just gonna get overwhelmed. You know, because any fortification you can throw up in Castle Age will just get torn down in Imperial Age. That's what I always say. In Castle Age, the castles go up, and Imperial Age, they go down again. Kind of like how it happened in history as well. To a large degree. Oof. Wow, I mean, congratulations, Vinchester. What a play, man. I mean, it was a deserved win. Let's just be honest, right? It was a deserved win. So, really well done, and good luck next round, of course, for him. And, of course, good luck next time for Hera. You know, you're still my favorite player, personally. So, don't beat yourself up about this. This can happen to anyone. You can still be proud of your performance nonetheless, you know. And there you go. GG.